Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 200. We made it. We made it to episode 200. Okay. So Evan's working on that. He's been posting stuff on Twitter all week, basically, getting this thing ready. And in the coming episodes, I'm sure he'll have it ready to go, and I'll have the announcement for it. You guys can check it out. So make sure you keep an eye on Twitter and all of that. But yes, episode 200. That means it's been almost 4 years now of this. So we're rolling along still. But Sean is busy. He's having company over or something. I don't know. So we'll see him hopefully next week. Let's go around here. We got Max, Dreamcast guy.
Hey, I think I've been here since episode 16. I think I started pretty consistently coming on. So I've been here almost all 4 years of this. Jesus. Yeah. Hey, how's it going, guys?
We got Jordan, new investor in Dogecoin.
Listen, I'm not an advisor, but just take a look at it. Just take a look. What's gonna hurt?
There's a dog.
I do like
dog. Throw a 20 in there. Thanks. This is I'm dripped out in Easy Squirt apparel.
Oh my god.
Invest in Easy Squirt if you can. Not an advisor, but invest in it coming back. Call up the company. Let Heinz know.
Evan, what's up? How you doing?
Doing all right.
Good to have Evan here. Got Miss Click.
Hello.
How's it going, Miss Click? MVG is with us tonight.
Hey, what's up?
We got a really cool thing to talk about with MVG here with Goldeneye, and we're gonna go over that. That'd be cool. Looking forward to that. And then we got OJ, Player Essence.
I'm actually here on the Spawncast because I get asked that like literally every single day.
Why do people still ask you that?
It's a meme at this point. I'm almost positive it's a meme. So now I've started charging. So like if you ask me, if you're not somebody that's a sponsor, I won't answer the question. If you're a sponsor, I'll answer it. But if you want to ask me and you're not a sponsor, you have to, it's $5 minimum to ask me if I'm going to be honest. And for me to answer it. You can ask, but I'm not going to answer it. You know, so that's the new thing now. We'll see how it goes.
Then we got Nate. Nate, how's it going?
I'm currently in a match of RE-verse, and
oh gosh,
you're still playing?
Yeah.
Why are you still playing that?
It's so bad you want to go back to see if it can get better, and it does get better when you shut off the comic book filter.
Yeah,
I
have a lot of hours.
Shut the game off.
Are the characters really? They're like shorter in that game, right?
Everything about the game is weird. I can't tell if they're short, tall. You fall over and you just kind of die. You don't know if you're actually getting hit with bullets. All of a sudden you die, you become a tyrant, and you're impaling people with your claw, and then the nemesis shoots you with a rocket, and then Claire Redfield shows up and shocks you with a taser, and you get murdered with an Uzi, and the game shouldn't even exist.
I mean, it sounds like it should be fun, but it clearly does not look to be.
It's fun for all the wrong reasons. It's stupid fun, and that's not a really appealing game design, but it's so bad you'll play it probably for more hours than you're willing to admit when it comes out later this year.
Well, I think, Nate, could you agree? What's weird about it partially is that the controls are really tight. Like anything you want to try and do, running around, aiming is really smooth. It's just that the idea of it is so bad. Like actually, you don't miss shots. It's easy to kill players. It's easy to like become a monster. It doesn't make sense.
It's like doing all the dodging mechanics. It's nice and smooth. You can dodge the zombie or the bio weapons that the enemies become really easily, and then you can throw out your special attack on the fly. It's just a mess of a game where it's not really fun. It's not even competitive. It's, oh, I killed you. I'm a bioweapon. Haha, I got revenge. Oh, now you're a bioweapon. Now you killed me. And the way the game is set up is you get points based on the position of the people you kill. So if you kill first place, you get the 10 points for the kill. You might get 25 points because they're in first place. If they killed you prior, you'll get an extra like 9 points for revenge. And then if you die, you lose 5 points. So the scoring system's a mess. There's no, at least in the beta, there's no ranking system. I'm going to be curious how everyone reacts to this freebie when it comes out with Village, because it's a mess.
Well, yeah, but it's going to come with Village, so we'll all just play Village and then move on.
Yeah. And that's
maybe
what I said in my video.
Maybe there'll be like a team deathmatch or something in this, so you can get like 3-on-3 with Spawncast members, except for Click, because she doesn't know what Resident Evil is.
Whoa. I will eventually.
She just found out that it doesn't take long at all to beat Resident Evil 2 and 3 just now.
You didn't tell me.
We told you it was like an 8-hour game. 12.
We told you it was
times.
short. Click. We told you it was short.
I didn't know it was that short.
Yeah, you can.
We told you it was less than 10 hours.
Max,
We said
could beat
Max,
all
what
of
was your
them
best
without
Resident Evil 2
59
speedrun?
minutes and 59.
Yeah.
Or 9 hours and 59 minutes.
Well, my speed runs, I can beat the games in about 90 minutes. I mean, if you know what to do and solve the puzzles, you can. I beat Resident Evil 2 when I was trying to be a speedrun world record. I beat the game in about 45 minutes.
You could beat Resident Evil 3 remake in 3 hours without knowing what you're doing.
I don't even know like what the main gameplay loop of those games are.
It's
so,
just
like,
sequences
Survive.
of puzzles and survival. That's it.
There's
survive,
not
what am I running from?
the
survive,
monsters.
survive in the puzzles.
Yeah, the monsters don't really. The monsters don't respawn, and there's limited ammo, so you kind of just slowly,
great.
carefully,
The Last of Us.
They climb back
clear
into
an area
windows.
out and then solve puzzles.
Well, let's correct that really quick. If you play RE1 remake, the enemies will come back as crimson heads and they will rip your friggin'
But
spine
if
out
you
of your
burn them,
ass.
if
The
you'll
heck?
burn them, they won't.
Yeah, but
Well,
she would have
okay.
figured that
To
out.
be honest, though, Click, it depends on what Resident Evil you're playing. Some of them are more like Resident Evil 4 and 5 are more action oriented.
See where
You know,
started.
so
Okay.
those are more. Okay, sorry. Let's just not-
I recommend trying out 2 and 3. Click, there you go. You can beat them in one shot if you're doing like a 13-hour stream again. So there you go.
I have a whole video being. I have a big video coming out just for you tomorrow, Miss Click, and it's
no.
it took all week working on it, but I have a which Resident
no
Evil should you
pressure.
play first, and,
Right.
and just watch
No.
you one.
That's a very good video.
Yeah.
That's a very good video. I also think Resident Evil 4, I'm just gonna say Resident Evil 4 might be a good place to start. I'll just say
Okay,
that
yeah,
because
you
it's
can do
very,
4.
it's very good. People consider that the best one. Some people consider it's the best one. So Resident Evil 4 might be a good place to start. That's
Oh,
okay.
here we
I'm
go.
done.
But
We have
also 5.
We had a couple of new games here this week. See who played what. Medium. Anyone play Medium?
I beat it.
I downloaded it.
I played some of Medium as well. What'd you- I think Nate played it too because you're commenting on it at one point. I think.
Yeah.
the other week. What'd you guys think of it?
I respect its classic vibes a lot. Fixed camera angles. Lots of
The
cool
fixed camera's
exploration.
interesting. Yeah.
I like that, and I like the music. I
Oh.
like the art. I think the animations are a little bit weird, and I do think that it feels really short. It's an 8-hour game that feels like 4 hours.
What'd
You
what'd
guys,
think
you
of it,
guys
Steve?
ragging on the fixed camera angles? I love it.
No,
I
I'm
love
saying
that.
I like that. I'm saying
Oh,
that's a
okay.
Oh,
yeah.
all right. Yeah, the fixed camera angle is fantastic. I would
Yeah.
take an old school Resident Evil game in this style. Like, it's convinced me I could play Resident Evil with fixed camera angles again and find it to be thrilling.
Hmm. Okay.
I like the game. I do agree though. It's missing a little polish. It needs a little bit more polish. Like the character animation is a little stiff. There's just a couple of things that they just need to improve on, but it's almost there for me. Like, it's close. It's a good game so far. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm probably about I want to say maybe 4 hours in, so I've got a little bit to go. But I think it's a good departure, game from what we've seen, in recent times. I love the spirit world and the real world, dual mechanic thing that's going on. I'm into that. Overall, I'm really happy with the game. It's definitely not the game of the year nomination type game, but it's definitely it's good. I mean, it's good for this time of year to play a game like that, I think.
I got more to play of it. I'd say right now it's definitely medium. That's where I put it. It is legit medium. The character's uninteresting, boring. Don't care.
Oof.
Can't remember what her name is.
You didn't like the
Marianne.
intro start with
Marianne the
I
Medium.
don't want to spoil it, but the intro piece where you have to go through that whole thing. That didn't kind of connect with you at all.
Also, I don't know. Visually, she looks much worse than the environment around her.
Yeah.
Is that just me?
Yeah.
Like, that takes me out. I look at it, I'm like, all right, she runs very strange. Her overall, like, I don't know, just the way she looks visually, like graphically, does not match up to the environment around her, and it just sticks out to me whenever they do close-ups or anything of her. It's very weird.
I think her character model looks okay. I think it's the animation that's like playing tricks in your mind. Like when she's talking to people, it reminds me of PlayStation 2 where it looks like a puppet. Everybody moves like a puppet. It's a little bit weird.
Okay. It seemed a bit especially like in the opening part, they have you kind of walk around and find different things. And I don't know, it seemed clunky when I was doing that in the beginning. It seemed boring for a little bit. I don't know. It's
it picks up as you go. Once you get into like one of the key areas and you really start using the dual world, it starts to pick up and it relies more on the puzzles. It feels like a game from the PS2 era in the
That's
best
exactly
way.
what I was going to say.
Yeah, it feels like the Silent Hill 2, those Shadow Heart type of games from back then. And I think that's where some people right now are kind of mixed on it. They were expecting a more modern game, and everyone's calling it like survival horror. And it's not a survival horror game. There's no real survival aspects to it.
No.
It's just
Is it a horror
weird
puzzle game?
feel. I don't know if I would even go as far as horror. It's more unnerving than it is true horror. It has a few jump scares. Yeah, suspenseful.
Does it feel as
the soundtrack
linear?
is fantastic.
Does it feel as linear as the other games like Layers of Fear and stuff, where you are going to get to the end, but you're going to kind of experience some things along the way?
It's very linear.
The environments are very self-contained. You're never going to get lost. You might sit there for a minute and be like, what was I supposed to do? It's like, oh, I forgot I have the insight ability, so I can see the object hidden behind this wall.
Did you notice they don't like, I don't know, and they didn't really teach you as much. I mean, they did, and then they forgot about an ability for like an hour or two, and then it was like, oh yeah, insight. That's right. And then you start using it to get past.
Like even running, it's just all of a sudden you get to a part where like you can hit this button to run.
Yeah. It's like,
okay,
oh, great, thanks. I do like the environment. I do like the atmosphere they built when you're kind of walking. It is unnerving. You're right. So like for that, it's good, and I look forward to it because I assume because people did Layers of Fear, they'll have some weird like elements to it, some psychological type stuff. So like I still have to play through it completely, but so far it's okay for me. Like I don't think I'll remember this game at the end of the year, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
you say that now. What if proposal control?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I think Control is a lot more polished than this game is. But I like Medium Fine. I like Medium Fine. It's definitely worth checking out. Especially right now when there's not much going on.
Yes.
But we did have is it Balan or Balan?
Who gives a damn?
Yeah.
Wonderwall.
Forgettable Wonderworld.
Okay, so I played this demo and I gotta be honest, I wish I hadn't. I'm actually this demo I played it and I was like, wow, I'm actually sad right now because this is Yuji Naka. I am sad. Like I had to sit back in my chair and I was like, oh.
It's a really bad demo. It's like if Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg was awful. And that's what this demo was.
I'm really confused what they were doing with this game.
It's the worst demo I've ever played. It's the worst demo.
What is it? What do you do in the game?
It looked like it ran smooth.
So let me give you the example why I was annoyed immediately. I was annoyed in the first 30 seconds. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so I start the game up, and I go through the menu. I get on the PS5 because I'm like, you know what? Those adaptive triggers, I have to start taking those into account for things because maybe they'll do something cool with it. They didn't in this game at all. But I'm going through the menu. Did you guys notice there's no back button in the game?
Yes, every button does the same thing. Yes. Every button is confirm and every button is jump.
So I was going through. I was like, okay, so let me press. I'll press cross. I'll go through here. All right, I'll go through. I'll check. I look at the options. Okay, is there anything interesting? Are there graphics modes or any things like that? And I'm like, oh, nothing. Okay, press circle, and it just confirms again. I'm like, what is this? Every button's confirmed. You have to scroll all the way down and go to back. The button there. I'm like, why is that? But that's what it is in the game. Like every button does the same thing in the game.
Yeah,
there's really weird.
There's 6 jump buttons, and I want to jump off a cliff. Like all the face buttons make you jump. The triggers make you jump. Literally, there is no sub commands. This is there's switch costume, which is your shoulder button. And then everything else is jump. Every button is jump, and it feels.
But here's where it gets worse. It gets worse when you start getting your costumes. For some reason, I think there's 80 costumes in this game. Because when you go into the costume menu at the bottom, I was looking at it, I was like, you have 5 of 80. And I'm like, there are 80 costumes in this game. But like, if you're the dragon, you can't jump. You have to switch to the bunny to jump. And then you switch back to the dragon to shoot fire. But you can only have 3 or 4 costumes on you at a time. You have to go back to the middle part to then change back to different costumes and load up and equip them. I don't understand why these weren't just abilities that your main character got that you can switch to on the fly or just gain abilities. It's like they did the Metroidvania, but back in the 90s, like early 90s, before Super Metroid figured it out.
It's a bad game. And you know why it's bad? because one of the developers is Azrest, and they made Yoshi's New Island and they made Hey Pikmin for the 3DS, and those games are terrible, and this developer is terrible, and they've now released a $60 hunk of garbage.
No, this thing's not $60.
Good.
It's $70.
It can't be 60. This has to be like a $30 game.
No,
Right?
it's a full. I think it's a full price game.
No. I have to see this right now. This cannot be.
This is Square Enix losing its mind and making.
It's $60.
Right.
This is $60.
It's a $60 game across the board.
AAA Nights game.
I can't wait till the Xbox One version comes out, dude. That's probably going to be the best one. People are going to forget.
It's so yeah. I put it on PlayStation 5. It's weird how the art sucks.
Here's the strategy. Immediately, here's the strategy. Here's how they sell it. Okay, the visuals are already not good. No, the visuals aren't that good, right? If I was them, I'd be like, what are we gonna do? Okay, this is the first 8K PS5 game. And I put it on the box. I would advertise. I'd be like, you want to see 8K? You buy this game.
Bigger than the logo. It says 8K. Balan.
I'm trying to figure it out for him right now.
I don't know why Sean was hyping this up, because everything that I saw, he's an old school gamer. We can kind of all see, and it never.
Wait a minute, he's not here. Oh,
he's not here, so I'm gonna trash him. He's not. I'll trash him in front of his face next time too.
I mean, I see where this. I see how he's playing this out. I see what happened here. He's not here when Balan comes out, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, let's face it. Sean Balan bitched out. I think we can all agree.
He was hyping this game up, and it never looked good. It never looked, and I never hyped it up on my channel. I'm like, bro, this game doesn't look good. Let's see when it comes out, but it never looked good. And I played the demo too, and I was like, it confirmed what I already saw with my eyes, that it's not good. So I mean, I already knew the game wasn't going to be good.
It's really bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
I mean, it's a terrible demo. I think if I had to choose between two recent Square Enix releases of Balan Bowling, whatever the hell this game's called, and that game with the blind guy.
Oh, yeah, Quiet Man.
Quiet Man.
Quiet Man. I think I would choose Quiet Man.
I would actually too. Because Quiet Man was at least interesting in the beginning, and then I'm like, this game's just terrible. That game, I started up, I was mad in the menu.
Well, isn't Quiet Man short?
The demo. It's already
Quiet Man faster.
Quiet Man's like 2 hours, yeah.
Just imagine, like, John pushing the same button, like trying every single button on the controller. Like, are you kidding me?
I was like, what is
this? Century.
Like, did your kid play the demo? Did your kid play and be like, this is fun?
No, even the kid was like, what are you doing?
My daughter would slap me if I made her play that, bro. It'd be a swift slap to the face.
Like, we turned off monster trucks for this.
She's like, get me Roblox or I'm revolting.
Oh no.
I don't know. Like, they had to release this demo, because if they didn't do this and the game came out, it would be worse.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's gonna bomb. I can't imagine anybody would sell this. I saw a few people in my comment section because I made a video called "I hate the demo for Balan Wonderworld." I had a few people defending it in the comment section. There were people that were trying to be like, "It's the beginning of the game. What if they start to make it where you can customize your skills and abilities?" Like, people were just making fan fiction. People were just making up a better game in their head. It's so bad.
They gave it as they went ahead.
What if a better game was being played?
But they gave
what if you can do all the stuff that you can't?
But they jump you ahead to like the fourth world or whatever in the game, right? Like as I was playing through, they dropped it, and I was like, I just don't feel like going through that door, so I'm gonna turn this off now. But like, I played through the first 2 levels now, and then they send you back to the hub world, and they're like, build this tower, and I have no idea why I'm building a tower right now. Well, they're just like, build it.
They're definitely going to have the go back with your masks or your costumes to do the earlier levels to get in it, because it has basically the Mario Stars thing where there's like a bunch of, you got to collect all the Balan statues. And I saw the first world has like 20 statues. I'm not collecting 200 of this. I'm not playing this game.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know who sat down and said this is a great idea. Like, because the game itself is flawed, like fundamentally. Like, it's not like they can be like, you know what, we're going to delay it to the end of the year and fix it. I don't think there's nothing to fix.
No, it's just bad.
You gotta start over.
It's just a bad game from design. I mean, Yuji Naka has made some fantastic games in his career. This one, he's gonna wish wasn't on his resume.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here, but maybe next time.
It's not even worth playing the demo. It's that bad.
I think
playing the demo will ruin your day.
No. Look. People were like destroying at times online, like the medium and stuff. I think we need to see what a baseline bad game is. So yes, I do think the demo is worth playing to see.
Like it runs okay, right? Is it just really boring?
Well,
Yes,
so
it is. It's pretty boring.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
okay.
really run that
right?
well though on the Switch. It runs like crap on the Switch.
So also part of it is there are these weird tricks to make sure it runs as steady as it does, Miss Click. One of the weird things is there are friendly characters in the world. There's like characters that are like little villagers and stuff that are like having a party. When you walk up, they disintegrate. So what it does is the world is constantly like basically being built around you, and it makes it everything feels really disconnected. It feels like a pre-alpha game. It feels like they're trying to still test like the bricks.
I like them. The music was, I think, catchy. I was okay with that. The box art, as you said, Jordan, box art's all right. It's kind of it. Okay, though, you know what? No. The boss fight in the first world, the cinematic before the boss fight and the cinematic after the boss fight were both about 3 times longer than the boss fight itself.
That's true. That opening cutscene is so long and so weird. Where it's like, whoa!
But then you beat the boss, and then it just breaks out into this musical number where everyone's dancing, and the farmer starts dancing with you, and like
it's trying to make you feel good about the horrible experience you're currently playing. It tries to make you feel some joy.
That was the best part. Was the musical at the end, and I'm like, all right, that was all right.
Maybe the game has an amazing credit sequence after you play this horrifically bad game. Then the credits are like, yeah, we're going to make you feel better about wasting $60 on this horrible game that's already discounted for $2 at Walmart right now. You'd be like, that was worth it in the end. I got like a Disney musical. But I've never seen a demo this bad release from any publisher. Like, if there was anyone that this demo convinced to buy the game, wow.
I mean, let's be optimistic. Maybe it'll get PT'd and the game will disappear and we'll just have this demo to remember it.
I think the game's done.
It's coming out on a bad day too. Like it's coming out on a really bad day. Like
it's coming out same day as Monster Hunter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same day as Monster Hunter Rise. Yeah, like it's a really bad day.
Oh man.
Maybe there is no region that this game is going to sell well in. Like it's going to launch in Japan. It's going to sell like 1,000 copies. Monster Hunter is going to sell 3.5 million copies on the same day, and we'll never see it chart. In North America, people are going to be like, "This game came out." And in 25 years, it's going to be worth like $12,000 because only like 12 copies got printed.
I'm buying my copy.
7 of them were sold, and Square Enix bought all the remainders left. And like,
are we investing in Balan?
No.
Then they took them to a landfill and buried them like the Atari ET cartridges.
He's gonna sit there with ET and they're like, "What did we do wrong?" Everything.
I'm actually, that made me sad. I was like, this could have been our AAA Nights game.
But I don't understand why they didn't go that route. Why did they just make like a Knights clone, but like with like costumes and you can fly around? Like it's way simpler. It'd be more fun. It's easier to do. Like now you just have this 3D platforming's not easy. There's a reason why people don't make 3D platformers like that. It's much easier to do 2D or something else. 3D is hard to do. It's hard to make a good 3D game, like a 3D platformer. And this game it doesn't stack up. I mean, there's probably gonna be some people that like it though. I think some people will actually like it.
I encourage everyone to download the demo and try it for yourselves. Go ahead.
It's a dare.
Everyone should try it.
AAA Nights game instead, man. This is what we got. Because there is a little bit of a budget behind this game. It's not like it's bare.
I mean,
bones.
I guess.
Like it's not like it's like super small, like indie, like Kickstarter budget. They put some money into it.
I blame Azrest. They just don't make good game.
We have some Discord questions, Evan.
What is your favorite video game weapon of all time?
Oh,
it's easy.
What is it?
BFG from Doom.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the Master Sword, but all right.
Yeah.
BFG's good
I like
too.
Jordan, can you say my favorite weapon's name?
Oh, the Monado.
What about the gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII? That's pretty cool.
I was thinking the sword. I was thinking Cloud Sword.
Ultimate weapon from Final Fantasy VII. I like how it's see-through and blue, and the more hurt you get, the darker blue it turns. It's the only time I've ever seen a game where your weapon changes depending on how healthy you are.
That's a good one. Okay. We got another Discord question.
At what point do you guys think we'll see a Switch that doesn't require a dock and cast directly to the TV via an HDMI dongle?
When it's not called the
I don't
Switch
know,
anymore?
Nate. You tell us. When's that happening?
What? We made a video about that topic late last year.
We did. When's it coming out?
when Nintendo feels as though there's time to release that type of product to the Switch family.
Hey, they almost released it. They almost released that years ago, right?
Yeah, but that one was terrible.
To me, the 3DS successor.
Maybe in 2021 we see Nintendo expand the Switch family a little more beyond just the hybrid light, and we get a traditional console model. It's the natural progress.
Where's this coming from? Hold on a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute. Nate, let me ask you a question, though. Let me ask you a question.
Investing in Nintendo right now. Hold on.
Nate, does it play Resident Evil? That's all I need to know. Does it play Resident Evil?
Whatever Resident Evils are currently on the Switch.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, great.
0,
okay, as long as it does that, we're good.
4, 5, 6. So there's no excuse for Click not to be playing a Resident Evil on our Switch at any time of day.
Oh, gosh.
And they were on sale. You could have got them for like $9.
I'm sorry, I didn't know Nate was gonna go. Keep going.
We got another Discord question, Evan.
We got a guy wondering when's the best time to buy a TV. He's wondering if it's going to be soon due to the Super Bowl and all that.
Yeah, could be. I mean, some sales coming up.
I said in April they're going to have new models, I think, start to come out. So I would wait till the new models come out because the current models are really good. I think the CX just went on sale the other day again. Like that always goes on sale. That's a great TV to pick up. Yeah. So when the C11 hits, I'd say get the C10 when the C11 hits.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Are you guys even gonna show up when I play Resident Evil?
I'll show up. I'm always quick. I'm always in your. I don't always talk because I'm usually editing.
About TVs right now.
That's
evil.
No. We gotta fix it right now. If
Click,
I play Resident Evil, will you be there to support me? Or
I'm always in all your streams.
Click. I'll turn on the stream. But Florida's like that's really far away.
I'll be there.
I don't
need to stream for 20 hours. I'll be there.
Get out of here.
I'll be there. I've been in your chat. I was watching about your sleep deprived Splatoon.
Okay.
I just don't always comment because I'm editing. Like I'm editing, so I don't always have the sound on.
Okay.
I'll only show up if you start with Resident Evil 1.
Oh my gosh, there's limits to our friendship. You know what telling me right now?
I'll only show up if you let me backstage drive.
You know what? That's it. Resident Evil 4. Start with that one.
Resident Evil 4. I agree.
I want to make you an offer. Click when you get to some of the co-op Resident Evils. They have online play. If you need a partner, any platform like Resident Evil 5.
You're gonna let me die.
I will seriously help you out because I think those games are fun and I like playing through them with first timers. So if you get to the co-op ones, yeah. So let me know. I'll play with you.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to bring up this week after I took some time. I took a little bit of time for my Assassin's Creed break, my binging of that game break, which I'm near 80 hours in, and I'm still finding myself going, I'm not even enjoying this. Why am I playing it? But whatever. I got back into Immortals because new DLC came out, and they were kind enough. They supplied me with a review copy last year, then they sent me the season pass. And for anyone who's wondering, the new update, which lets you go to Olympus, if you didn't love the challenges in the game, like the dungeons and moving stuff around, it's a lot of that. It's basically harder trials of that in Olympus. The next 2 DLCs after it are the ones I'm really excited for. So if you're looking for more of like adventure and story, I wouldn't go for the DLC too much, but if you are into a lot of the puzzles and challenges, then it's full of them.
Okay, very good. Let's Evan, we have no Discord question there.
We have a couple, yeah.
All right, yeah. You can go ahead and do some more.
All right, these are just weird. I don't know. Did Dennis Dyack, formerly of Silicon Knights and now with Apocalypse Studios, leave on respectful terms with Nintendo? It seems only right to offer his company the ability to make an Eternal Darkness sequel.
I don't know if Dennis Dyack wants to make another Eternal Darkness video game.
What's the last video game Dennis Dyack made? Too Human?
Too Human.
Oh, no.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, he was supposed to do The Shadow or whatever the hell that game was that never came out. And it was going to be a TV show and nothing came of it. I mean, I think Dyack's time in the game industry is pretty much over. And one of the people who was with the company got arrested for child porn and everything. Everything around Dyack is bad right now. So Nintendo ain't approaching him to make an Eternal Darkness game.
All right. What's another one, Evan?
This one's more. If you have the time, I would like to shout out Ubisoft Quebec, who stood up to the Ubisoft corporate bully Sergei Hascote, I believe, to make better games. What is everyone's thought on the various Ubisoft studios?
What do you guys think about the various Ubisoft studios? We talked about Jordan, some of the different teams for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I couldn't even name them. There's so many of them, I literally couldn't name them.
whatever the Odyssey team is, whatever I forget their group name, but they're I think some of the best in terms of fleshing out and fully going for a realized vision. So,
all right. You got another Discord question, Evan?
Nah, that's it.
Yeah, hold on.
We're all good.
I was making sure people were added to the description here.
Oh, let me check.
Yeah,
we're
loud keyboard.
You guys really type softly, huh?
You can show you a real keyboard. This is a man keyboard. Okay.
All right, let's
Welcome to
start.
episode 200.
Let's start with our first topic here because Returnal got delayed on the PS5.
Ah, yeah.
So this seems pretty straightforward, I think, but looking at it, I realized something because Returnal has now been delayed to April 30th, which is basically May. It's not like middle of April or something. It's essentially coming out in May, right?
Yep.
And I'm looking at this and I realized, okay, so Destruction All-Stars is coming up this week. It's coming out. I feel like it's going to come out. People are going to play it I'll play it, it'll come out, and then everyone will move on. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't see that game having a lot of staying power, to be honest. I think it's going to come out, and then that's going to be it. And then the following week, everyone will forget about it. But after that, the next Sony game then does not come out till basically May, which means there's nothing until then, which seems very odd to me because I thought Returnal in the middle of March was already kind of like, okay, so not going to have anything really for January or February then from Sony. And now we're thinking end of April, beginning of May is when their push for 2021 will start. But that also means that this game, Returnal, falls out of their fiscal year. Now, do we think that will be the next game up from Sony, or do we think they're going to slot something in just before their fiscal year ends?
I think it's the next game from Sony. And I know the reason Housemarque came out and said we need extra time for polish. A month's time of polish really isn't that substantial. I think this was a calculated move by Sony to get more PlayStation 5s in the hands of consumers so that they can get the sales that they want from the title. And it was purely a strategic move so they could have higher sales from the product.
I 1,000,000% agree. You can't sell games. Like, why release Ratchet and Clank and all these big games if nobody has the system? It's still being scalped. People still got PlayStation sitting in their garages and apartments and stuff, so like you can't, what are they supposed to do? Because if you release it now, like look at what happened. We had a restock, right? And all the games jumped up. Demon Souls, Spider-Man, they jumped up crazy percentages when we got a restock. It's like, dang, they could have had so much more if there's stock. Demon Souls could have been selling way better than what it's selling if there's actual stock of the system, but there isn't. So they're underselling now and underperforming because people don't have the system. So you've got to balance it. Like there's no way in hell they should release Ratchet and Clank anytime in the first half of the year. Like I wouldn't, because that game needs to sell. Like it needs to do well. So you've got to wait until people can actually get the system, which is sad. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's like, what are you going to do? Because if it comes out and it flops, that's a problem, But they need to really do something about these scalpers, like these bots, man. Like that's still a problem. I know people have been having better luck, but you're not making any money when, you're selling the system, but then people can't buy the system so they can buy games. Nobody's buying the games with it. So that's a big problem.
I have a counter argument to that. Sony released the PS, and not specifically to what you said, OJ, but just in general about lack of supply and scalpers and stuff. So Sony released the PS5, right? So they have to start delivering product. Forget about scalpers, right? Like I get the supply problem, but they have to start executing on their deliverables now, right? I mean, the system's out there. They committed to this, right? So it's too late now to say, well, we're going to hold this because there's not enough PS5s out there. They have to start dropping these releases to people. And I think, if they are actually holding it back because of the supply, which it could be, right? I'm not saying it's not. That would really not be a good look for them, I think. I think if they are delaying Returnal, the delay of Returnal for me, I believe, is purely a technical one. I don't think it has to do with
I agree with that.
Supply. But if they are starting to think about, well, we should hold this release back because there's no supply, that's a problem. That's a problem, I think, in a big way. And I don't, hopefully that doesn't happen.
See, the thing that causes me to hesitate on the idea that it is purely technical is that we didn't get a release date for Returnal until the Game Awards. So it was a month from giving a release date to a delay. That's a really small window of time for something to come up that was large enough to say we need an extra month to finish the game.
So, but here's my counter argument to that counter argument, which is that it's actually going to be a pretty tiny project. I think a lot of people are seeing this as a bigger game. I've been following
it's $70.
They're charging $70.
Oh, it's
$70 game.
It's a tiny game for $70.
Hey, I'm not talking about price. I'm not saying. I definitely think, even as a giant fan of Housemarque, I definitely think this should be 30 or 40. I think that this is going to be something the size of Hades. I think it's going to be a game that's tiny but fun and beautiful, and you replay it again and again and again.
Okay.
But in actuality, it's rather tiny. So I think that the delay, a month of work on a tinier project, can be more substantial.
So you don't think they're gonna have anything in March or April then, until basically the last day of April?
I mean, it's concerning because they said Ratchet would be a launch window, and now we're at the point of giving flexibility to what the term launch window means. I would typically give a product that launches in November until April for launch window, and we've had no communication from Insomniac about Ratchet and Clank since the Sony event over the summer, where they showed us a lot of gameplay, and Sony's been silent with us. Just launch window release. Yeah. If you want to get this game out this fiscal year, we should already have a release date on it.
Well, I mean, they could drop a state of play and put something else in March if they wanted to.
We had a state of play this week.
Okay, an actual state of play. People don't even know there was a state of play. That's how much they didn't care about the state of play.
I watched it.
That's unfortunate.
I watched it too.
Yeah, they said it was a state of play.
It was a state of play for Destruction.
All-Stars
or whatever. Yeah. That's all it was. It was like a focused one.
I think we're going to see DLC in March. I think we're going to see a very hyped up DLC for PS5 game. And the reason I say that is I've noticed the Spider-Man Twitter account, the Insomniac Spider-Man Twitter account, has been popping off the last couple of days. I do think that they're going to talk about DLC or something. And also I remember that it was like 4 or 5 months between the launch of Spider-Man 2018 and the beginning of the trilogy of DLC they did.
So what else they have so in the last 7 months of the year, they're going to release quite a few titles then, Sony will, according to their own 2021 schedule. Then
we know something's getting delayed. It will either be God of War or Horizon Forbidden West. One of those two is getting delayed.
Is Gran Turismo still this?
It's supposed to be this year
first
too.
Half.
But I think I could see Polyphony actually delaying that one. They take a while to get their stuff out.
I mean, COVID still has impacts, and we might be seeing the impacts of COVID still hitting these games right now.
Yeah, but like Ratchet looked like that was going to be up pretty quick after the game.
I think it's good, but go ahead, Click. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, with as much as they teased it and showed it off, and everything, you would think that that'd be like starting out the new year kind of thing.
Go back like 20 episodes of Spawncast. I think we were having a debate as if it was gonna be a launch game. Like we thought that it was all gonna be a launch game.
I thought it was gonna be early because of how much they showed, but that's what makes me think that they're holding it back, because it needs to sell. It's a $70 game. It's a big game for them. It's Ratchet and Clank. Like, this one's bigger than what they've done and the way that it looks, and like, it makes me think that they're definitely holding it, because you don't want to launch it and it sells like 1 million copies and you're like, oh, that's it, or it sells like 700,000 or whatever the case is. Like, you don't want that for this game. You want it to sell like 2, 3, 4 million, like starting out. You want it to have a good launch, so like you can't do that when.
Well, here's the issue with that. Here's the issue with that though. Lisa Su at AMD had their conference call, and she said that they most likely won't have the supply constraints figured out probably until close to holiday time even, and by then second half of this year.
She said second half. So
second half of the year could be between basically July onwards. Then somewhere in there they'll have it all worked out.
So maybe like around October-ish or so, September, October, things start getting a bit better. But
then the problem is we go into the holiday season.
Yeah, the demand is so crazy. That's the thing about the demand is people still want to play Demon Souls. People still want to play. I mean, people still haven't been able to play Demon Souls or Miles Morales like on PS5, right? Or I mean, you can play some of them on PS4, but people want to experience the PS5, So it's just it's rough right now, and it's rough because like they have to get their stock situation. I mean, it's so bad to the point to where, I mean, you look at Japan. Dude, they're barely given any systems there. It's been the lowest launch ever for Japan. The lowest ever. They've barely
video on Twitter. Oh man, that got out of hand. They had people like literally like storming like the register gates trying to get at them. It was crazy.
It's rough right now, and in lots of places, Europe is rough too. Like they're not getting any.
So the reason I look to say, well, it shouldn't have anything to do with supply, because they're going to launch Returnal with supply constraints on the system, and if they come out with something in June, which I assume most people believe that they're going to have something at least by June. I mean, according to AMD themselves, that they probably will launch into another constraint there for consoles with a big game.
But Returnal, that game doesn't need to sell as much as a game like Ratchet, right?
Yeah. Ratchet probably had a significant budget, and Insomniac's been busy. They did Miles Morales, they did Spider-Man Remaster. I mean, right now, we could say Insomniac is carrying the PlayStation 5 in a way.
But what we just saw in the UK is that people will still buy these games even a month or two after they've launched, as long as they get a PS5 then. So if that's the case, then 6 months from now, Ratchet and Clank could sell. Ratchet and Clank would sell. Returnal probably won't sell 6 weeks. Why can't they do what Nintendo does and keep their prices higher and just continue on with that and deliver systems because the demand's so high? Like they could sell Ratchet and Clank for $60 or $70 in the holiday time.
That's their goal. I've talked about this when it comes to Sony. Sony's, when people say, "Oh, well, Nintendo doesn't drop their prices, Sony and they drop the," I'm like, look, the market determines things. These retailers will drop the price based on the demand. Sony wants no part of their games being $5 at the end of the year. They want no smart business person wants that. None of these companies want that. Okay, so Sony's trying. That's why they haven't dropped the official price of Demon Souls. It's been how many months now, and it's been multiple. And Demon Souls is still $70. Sony is trying to hold still and be like Nintendo in that respect. So I think that they can this time. I mean, now that they have a system to where like the quality's super high, I think they're going to try to do it. Let's see if the market actually agrees with it though, and continues to buy the games 7, 8, 9 a year later, like Nintendo games. We have to wait and see if the market actually responds to it.
Sure. Okay. That's why I'm a little surprised they're not going to have a game out until the end of April. It seems, or beginning of May. It seems like a while after launch to have the next title, really.
It is. I mean, this is very similar to what we saw with the PlayStation 4, though. PlayStation 4 launched, and the next big release wasn't until infamous Second Son.
Mm-hmm. That was February, right?
No, it's a February.
March. Yeah, it's February. Wasn't it?
Yeah. Then, so it took some time. I mean, we went from Knack to Infamous, and this time it's going to be a longer gap.
How dare you forget Killzone Shadowfall? Sorry, Nick, I got to interrupt. How dare you forget the almighty Killzone Shadowfall?
That was a release.
I beat that game and forgot it.
It made everyone's PlayStation 4 sound like a jet engine.
Hey, I went back and played it at the end of last year. It's still not great, but
That's good. It's still
not very good. Killzone 2 is still very good though. I actually played a little bit of that on the PS3.
I enjoy Killzone 2 and 3.
Although I guess on the opposite side, Microsoft's not releasing anything either.
Yeah, neither one of them have really had a big release. You can actually look at both these systems and kind of say to yourself, why did they come out in November of 2020?
That is cool for Microsoft, though, is not releasing.
They could have easily put these games out in March.
No, I'm just messing around.
These systems out in March.
So let me pitch something to y'all. So the major thing that won me over to the Nintendo Switch, originally I did not like my Switch very much. I bought it day one, I beat Zelda, and then I kind of put it down. The thing that kind of won me over was actually really good indie games. Do you think that maybe like Nintendo was smart to advertise indie games really hard for that first 6 months until we got to Mario Odyssey, which blew all our minds? Do you think that maybe Microsoft and Sony should be pushing like, hey, here's some PlayStation 5 and Series X indie games, because they're not?
I think Sony should. Sony needs to lean into Kenna Bridge of Spirits immediately. That needs to be. They need to actually push that, possibly with some marketing, whether it's on the front of the PlayStation Store page, or I don't know if they have some sort of marketing on their site that they have set up for deals for different companies. They just need to slot Kenna the Bridge. It has to be one of the banners or something. Just ways to advertise it without actually doing commercials and stuff, So.
I just think it's a little hard for them when it's like, all right, get these next gen consoles that can do up to 8K graphics and do all this stuff, but play this 16-bit looking game. And it's kind of hard for them to push a lot of these smaller titles.
Dude, Kenna looks Pathless, but Kenna looks really good. Beautiful. That is a really good looking game.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like that's Bud Snacks, honestly.
But that's what I'm saying. Kenna actually looks like it could sell systems possibly if they actually push it hard enough and show it off. So that's all I can really think of them doing right now is, like you said, look towards like smaller games that are still graphically impressive and just kind of show them off. and try to push those while we're waiting for Returnal to show up. And I guess it's Ratchet and Clank next. It has to be, right?
It better be.
I hope so.
June or July, maybe summer type of game.
It feels like a summer game.
I feel like when they showed off that game, it was like, all right, this is going to happen at launch. And I was like, okay, it's going to happen in launch window. And now we're coming to the end of launch window in the next 2 months. And I'm like, where's this Ratchet and Clank game?
I can't prove it. I can't prove it, but I really think that they're holding. I mean, Nintendo sometimes have held their games for. I mean, yeah, it's maybe not the bigger, newer games, but what was it, Nate? They held like New Super Mario Bros. For like a year, like Yoshi for like a year, and some stuff. So I know that's different. That's not the same thing. Those are like ports or whatever. But with this one, I just think that they have to with this one.
I mean, Nintendo. Yeah, they held back New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe for about 11 months. It's a long time to sit on a release until they said, oh, it's ready. Pikmin 3 they sat on. And Nintendo sits on games every generation, all the way back to the 3DS. They sat on Majora's Mask for like a year. And it could be the case of Ratchet and Clank. It could just be that Insomniac's been busy with Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remaster, maybe DLC for Miles Morales. And Ratchet and Clank, they said, you know what, we're going to wait a little longer to finish you up. We want to get this content out first, or we want to get the ray tracing at 1080p and 60 frames a second ready for these games ahead of this. It could be Sony is saying we need more systems out there. We need this game to sell 2 million in that first month, and we simply don't have enough supply to feel comfortable doing that. There's numerous factors that could be at play here. It's rough for us early adopters to be sitting there saying, I bought Demon Souls, I got Miles Morales, the next game I'm playing is Destruction All-Stars?
Yes, we're gonna be playing that, I guess, on Tuesday.
Could be the sleeper hit of the year. Could be the sleeper hit of the year. You don't know.
It could be.
$70 before they were going to sell for 70. So
that was not going to work.
That was not going to work. Although I did have people telling me, well, it's probably worth 70. I was like, all right, that's fine. You want to buy it for 70? Feel free.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna be excited. It's David Jaffe, the guy who invented Twisted Metal, is super hyped for that game, and I kind of feel like if Twisted Metal says it's good, I'm extra curious about it.
All I'm gonna say,
saying it's good. Jaffe's saying it's good.
Okay, look, Drawn to Death said it's good. Okay, so
what are you saying, Click?
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is after Cyberpunk, I don't care if things get delayed right now at all.
Cyberpunk got delayed a million times, though.
I'm enjoying playing my backlog.
It is fun. It is memorable. And it's worth replaying and or looking forward to perhaps another addition to a series that it might be part of. I am good to go because I don't need hot fixes or patches or hoping that other people will mod my game to make my game better.
Also, you have the entire Resident Evil series to play through anyway.
I'm about to leave this call.
Oh, guys. I will say this. People, if you need some, everything's backwards compatible, right? I've been playing a ton of, John got me this game it was the Spawncast skipped a couple years ago, but Star Wars. And it is so good. It's much better on Series X than it was on my Xbox One X. Like way better. I'm having a lot more fun with that. I actually restarted because I was like 10 hours plus in, and I just wasn't feeling it as much on my Xbox One X. But on my Series X, it plays phenomenal. They have the update on there. It's so good. So you guys can play that. If you haven't played it, play that on your.
It's good.
5.
It is good. It is a good game.
Yeah. It's really good.
Let me go to some of these super chats. Jeffrey Dudley says, "Don't thank me, thank GME."
Diamond hands, baby.
Mr. Pete says, "Stonks and congrats on 200."
Stonks.
It's all caps. You gotta leave.
Yeah, all caps, baby.
Why do you think we're all playing Animal Crossing all last year? Right? We had to get ready.
Training. Yeah.
I didn't play that game.
Nathan played either. His copy's still in the mail.
Mine's still in transit.
Did it ever show up, Nate?
No, it's still in transit. At this point, I'm convinced it's just lost.
One day. I believe in it. It'll get there.
One day there's an Animal Crossing just floating out there that with Nate's name on it. The package is just out there. It's just somewhere.
Probably been sitting on your neighbor's doorstep for the last 8 months.
You got a little kid, Nate's neighbor, been playing Animal Crossing.
They might actually be floating that one to you with balloons.
We've had a lot of nor'easters this year, so who knows where it is now.
They have Happy Birthday Reacts and DNS error. No messages. Ghost Sniper says, question on Tencent raising billions to buy a studio/publisher.
raising
that had some people a little concerned that Tencent appears to be collecting some capital.
They're the richest in the world.
Yeah.
Well, that company was. But you hear that and you're like, well, hold on, they already have a lot of what are they collecting capital to do exactly? The rumor was a studio or some large acquisition, but nothing's happened that was like massive or like Bethesda level yet. Yeah. So like my concern is that they come after like it sounds crazy, but like an EA, a Take-Two or something like that. Something
good.
Like
Buy EA.
ridiculous.
Go ahead.
It doesn't sound crazy. It doesn't sound crazy at all. Honestly,
well, yeah, because it's Tencent. You're like, well, we think of these companies as being massive. Dude, Tencent is like ridiculous.
Maybe they'll raise enough to be called 11 cent. Who knows?
This is a bad joke now.
Have a good one,
that's what we want Dogecoin to end up.
Everyone join Fringe. Everyone join Fringe.
Thank you.
Larry. Swift says, if you had one PlayStation IP that could return on PS5, what would it be?
God of War. Or you mean like?
Oh, like one that hasn't been around for a one that I think they mean one that hasn't been around.
Wild
I
Arms.
thought you meant like if it could only be one.
Wild
If it
Arms,
could only be one.
I mean, a game that was only on PlayStation, but not specifically a PlayStation IP. But I think about Brave Fencer Musashi sometimes. That game was so silly. I feel like we don't have enough just purely silly games these days.
And like Tomba, stuff like that.
Yeah,
like back in the day, like Tomba and Brave Fencer. Yeah, so games like that. Those little quirky, weird games in that era. Yeah, were great. But I think like a Dark Cloud would be phenomenal. Level 5 Sony Dark Cloud would be really good to bring back. That was a PlayStation exclusive, PS2.
I want Bouncer 2.
Bouncer 2.
Bouncer.
Do you want it to be also a short experience, or like do you actually want it to be expanded into like a full game and universe, or like do you just want that like original feel?
Bouncer 2 hours?
That's a good question. It's a hard question.
4 hour Bouncer.
It's a prequel just called The Bounce.
About let's get Ape Escape. Bring Ape Escape up.
Oh,
get him out.
It's supposed to be.
Oh, they send them out to the woods.
That'd be really nice.
Ape
With
Escape.
that'd be really nice with the new controller. You think? Be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be good. Didn't they use that to kind of like advertise the DualShock in the first place? That was like the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was the game for 3D movement.
Yep.
How has no one said Legend of Dragoon?
Oh, dude, Legend, yes. Yeah.
Too good.
That game's super, super good.
Actually making that right? That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Legend of Dragoon's awesome.
I'll take SOCOM.
SOCOM, okay. SOCOM, all right.
Going back.
MVP, were you playing back in the day with the long ass PS2 headset like me? Were you using that?
Dude, I love SOCOM, man. And there's still a community that plays on X-Link. Like,
oh man,
you could be upstairs and then you can have the PS2 downstairs and the headset would reach, bro.
Going back to Twisted Metal. I'd like a new Twisted Metal.
Okay.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah, Twisted Metal. Did you play the PS3 one, Jordan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like that.
I remember that came out on Valentine's Day in 2011. I remember the whole advertisement campaign that year.
They had that thing that they had a part of their marketing campaign is that a thing where machine gun aimed at a sweet tooth truck and everybody online could log in and click a button and it would actually fire the machine gun, and so everybody logged in and just spammed it until it ran out of bullets. But it was a pretty good campaign.
Real quick on that game before we move on, I remember Jaffe went ballistic on Jeff Keighley on the bonus round when Keighley mentioned the game before it was like officially announced. If you guys can go back and watch it, it's so funny. Jaffe getting pissed off at
Jaffe goes off.
Yeah, it was great.
Larry T says, congratulations on 200 episodes. Keep up the awesome content, guys. Brent says, hi, everyone. Congratulations, 200. I was wondering if anyone has any info on Playdate. I'm super excited. Need me some portable video game crank.
So Playdate's that little yellow console with the crank.
Yep.
Dude, I can't wait for that thing.
They keep showing pictures of it, and then they'll show some games that actually use like the crank on the side of it, but like I haven't seen a release date or anything for it.
I know there's dev kits out and there is some stuff being developed on it, but there's no more info as far as when it's coming out. But I'm all over that thing when it comes out.
Yeah. Same.
Tijo says, happy 200. Here's to another 100. Now can we get the chat in the video so it won't go away when Evan edits out the start and end?
Last time we did that, there was a lot of racial slurs, so now you guys never will have
okay. There
Fair
you go.
enough, yeah.
Marcus M says, RGT is in therapy after Balan Wonderland. It left scars. Great show as always from this Spawncast. Hope for 200 more love from Scotland. He had like
that's what you want to call it.
He smashed a can on his head.
True story. Right after I played it, I messaged Sean. We had like a group chat, and I was messaging Sean. I was like, "Bro, this Balan Wonderland is really bad." And he said, "Weird. It's saying that Dreamcast guy is messaging me, but it's just blank." He was like in denial.
Kentucky Crew says, I Balan has so many hidden mechanics that reviews seem to miss. I like the backtracking with new costumes in order to unlock new areas, and the birds are the Chow mechanic from Sonic Adventure 2. See, somebody likes
I said some people will love the game. Some people will legitimately love the game, and that's fine. It's no problem.
People love garbage. Oh man, they love garbage.
Jeffrey Grubb says, honestly, Balan is what Knights fans deserve.
Whoa. Ban him for hate speech.
Damn, man. Come on.
Knights fans do not deserve that. What are you talking about, bro?
Sean's on his couch right now. He's got a shiver. Jeffrey Tucker says RE4 is the worst, responsible for the action push in the series with RE5 through 6. Why is 4 so beloved? Because 4 is
boo this man. Ban this man out
the
of
only
this.
bad one out of there is 6. Like, what do you mean?
I would say I like 4. 4 is really fun. I've played it a bunch of times, but I do agree with the fact that that's when they stepped away from the lore. Like after that, they just every game. All right, now we're going against this evil company called Tricell, and now it's these people. Like
this 4 worked so well.
It's so fun and it's so actiony and it's so. I think the art holds up perfectly. Those graphics still look great. I just do think that the death of Umbrella really did kind of hurt the story overall.
But he said that it sucks.
Yeah. He said
that guy's wrong.
Resident Evil 4 is one of the top 10 games of all time.
He said it sucks, and I don't like that.
Nobody. How can you say Resident Evil 4 sucks? What?
It's ridiculous.
What? Do you even like video games?
Nobody said that when it came out. It's ridiculous.
Sucks. Damn.
It sounds.
This ain't no Balan Wonderland
right now for that.
Resident Evil 4 sucks.
Gosh.
What?
PC Master Race says Yuji Naka career is over. LMFAO, what a fraud.
It was over before.
Career is over.
God, every game creator can have a bad game.
Everyone has a bad day
or
in
a
the
series
office.
of them or something.
Yuji Naka really hasn't had a good one in a while.
He said his career is over. Come on, bro, chill.
I know, right? They're gonna drop Balan Wonderland, and the people online are gonna be like, "Put him in the electric chair."
No.
So you're telling me if you went to school and you got 1 F that you had to drop out of school because you can't. That's it. You lost your chance. You didn't study.
Yeah.
No. So
Yeah, but Yuji Naka. What was that?
You see the internet, Jordan? That's the majority of people that argue with us.
What was that game he made for the Wii where you clap your hands over the controller and like bang the desk with your hand to make the character move?
Oh, we tap.
Yeah, I think.
Thing.
Yeah, that's when Yuji Naka started saying, "I don't know what I'm doing anymore." I made Sonic and said, "I peaked."
So
we tap.
We'll come back to the super chats. I want to move over to Goldeneye. Goldeneye's back. I think it is kind of. MVG might help me out with this one because this is a canceled GoldenEye Xbox Live Arcade remake from 2007.
Mm-hmm.
At least according to the description here. I remember this. I remember seeing this because this had popped up. It was like a 30-minute thing back in the day on YouTube, footage of it leaking out, and people got really excited because they thought, oh, maybe it'll still come out, but it never did. It got canceled at like the last minute because there is an entire playthrough of the game. Like it's done. The game is just ready. They just never released it. So I don't know how long they spent like putting this game together or anything. It's a shame that it never came out because this would have been one of the bigger announcements, I would say, at the time for the 360. And I don't know what other system I don't know what other system would have come out on. I guess just the 360, and Nintendo would have been like a part of it in some way.
The Wii. It was also would have came to the Wii.
Okay, so it would have come to both.
Mm-hmm.
This game looks awesome.
Oh yeah,
like it looks so good. It's a full 2 hour. Like this person played all the way through it. If time stands for all the different levels, a little over 2 hours, and it is the original GoldenEye, but like not playing at 10 frames a second.
Yeah.
this is on Xbox Live. So okay, are they going to release this? Because this is being played on an emulator. This is on the Xenia emulator.
Yeah, no, they're not going to release. Well, hold on. It's not going to get officially released if that's what you're asking.
Is this related to they did a whole Q&A thing here on the
yeah. I mean, are they going to release this? They probably will. Like that's what I've heard. So the backstory about all this is back in 2008, 2009. Obviously, Rare, was acquired by Microsoft, and they started working on stuff. When the 360 came out, they released Perfect Dark and Banjo and all that stuff. They were also Rare was working on a GoldenEye remaster for Xbox Live Arcade. If you remember, Xbox Live Arcade was a pretty popular service at the time. Every week that they would release new games on the service, and there was some really good Xbox Live Arcade games that came out. A lot of remasters were done and stuff like that. I mean, there was some bad stuff too, like Tony Hawk got remastered and some other things. But so GoldenEye was a game that was being remastered by Rare, and ultimately it was made available on Xbox's PartnerNet service, which is basically the equivalent of Xbox Live but for developers, and that is used basically just to test games before they go to retail. So I don't know how long it was for, but it was maybe like an hour at the most. GoldenEye was made available on that service, and some people actually grabbed it like when they saw it immediately, but it was quickly removed after that. And the reason why it was removed was because if you think about GoldenEye has a lot of different players that are involved. So obviously Rare owns the game, but Nintendo owns GoldenEye as far as they own the source code and the assets. So Microsoft owns Rare, so Microsoft's involved as well. And MGM owns the bond license. So there's a lot of different forces at play here with regards to GoldenEye. So in the end, the game never came out, but there were some people that actually got a copy of this beta, this fabled beta. That's what you saw in this video. There was a 4chan leak maybe about a month ago where someone had leaked GoldenEye as part of some bigger leak, but it was password protected with like 128 character password.
You're not breaking that, yeah.
But the guy that made this video, he's telling people that has nothing to do with that leak. So he's gotten it via other means, but I don't know how he's gotten it. But in the end, he's done a playthrough of the entire game. And he is telling people that at some point in the future, they will release this. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, if you have access to a modded Xbox 360, you'll be able to play it. If you have access to the Xenia emulator, you'll be able to play it. So hopefully, we'll get to see it again. I think it's very interesting. It's definitely something that I'm very familiar with, and I know other people are as well, because it was something that never came out. But yeah, it's a cool piece of history. It looks fantastic, and it just makes you wonder. I wish we got that GoldenEye remaster, because it does look great.
There's a whole multiplayer component to this. This could have been online multiplayer.
Yep.
Back then on the 360 at the time, or even the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been cool. The Wii with like motion, like the IR aiming and all of that too, attached to it. Ooh. I mean, I guess it still could be if they could have ever figured it out. I don't know. I don't know how that would work out. Would Nintendo still be involved in this?
Yes, absolutely. They would be involved. Now, Phil Spencer made some tweets about this, I think maybe a couple of years ago, and he said, look, this is a licensing issue. This is a rights issue. So, I mean, Phil wants to do it, but he also understands that, look, there's no way that this can happen right now. So, Nintendo would most definitely be involved in this. Now, obviously, Microsoft and Nintendo have a different relationship these days, so maybe there is a path to get this game back in some fashion, but I wouldn't be too hopeful of that at this time, at least.
Okay.
But it looks cool. It looks really cool.
I mean, it looks very good. So I would like to see it come out someday, but wow. GoldenEye 007 Xbox Live Arcade. That's what they needed on the Nintendo 64 Classic. Maybe they let Microsoft release it on their Xbox and their Windows and all of that, and then they get to drop it on the N64 Classic.
It's a good deal.
It would be a good deal. like the original belief behind this was that Nintendo was going to publish it, but that Nintendo was also going to be able to publish like Banjo-Kazooie on the Wii Virtual Console.
Oh,
and then somewhere along the lines of this deal is pretty much right before everything was going to be finalized, Nintendo said no. It came down to revenue splits, all that type of stuff. So it would be a miracle for us to see this happen, because all Nintendo has to be is like, we want 60%. Microsoft, well, no, we actually want a little closer to this percent. And Nintendo will be like, you're not getting it. Nintendo knows they hold all the cards, and you have to come to them to make this happen. And that's tough with a company who it's not very open to negotiation. They do what's best for their bottom line, not necessarily like, let's bring it to Microsoft and Nintendo, and everyone can enjoy it. We'll have cross-play for multiplayer online, and everyone can enjoy this game again. Nintendo is still that company at the end of the day. If they can benefit their bottom line more than yours, they're going to make that move, and you have to come and say, okay, we agree to your terms. So
there's a few people in the chat saying Nintendo didn't shut it down because that's what's in the description. I can tell you that is incorrect information. They did shut the project down.
Yeah, Nintendo was the sole company who shut the project down. Microsoft was ready to release. Activision, because they had the bond license at the time, were ready to go with it, and Nintendo was the one to hold out. The description on the video that came out on YouTube with the long play oversimplified everything that happened. And oversimplifying this case is an injustice to what happened, because this is a very complex matter. It wasn't something that was just, oh, Nintendo was here to play. They were there to play for the majority of it until it came to the final hours. Think of it like the PlayStation situation for the NES or the Super NES when Nintendo was working with Sony. Everything was good to go until at the last minute, Nintendo changed the terms. It was very similar with Goldeneye. They changed the terms and they terminated the project. It all comes down to Nintendo at the end. It was no other company. Nintendo said no.
That is correct. All the source code and assets belong to Nintendo, and ultimately, that's really where it ends. It's up to them if they want to do it. Then yeah, that's great. But right now, yeah, I mean, if they want to, then definitely I think Microsoft would be really open to, negotiations there. But yeah, ultimately, the buck stops with Nintendo on this one.
Sounds about on brand. So,
and to the person saying, the guy who released the footage, why would they be lying about Nintendo's part? They're not lying about it. They misunderstood the interview that they sourced. The interview was from a ex-Rare employee who really didn't go into detail about Nintendo's role. Nintendo owns the game design, the code. They own GoldenEye 64. They publish it. They funded it. That is their property. You cannot release that game in any other form without Nintendo's permission. And when they were HDing this for the Xbox 360 and also for a Wii release, it was with Nintendo's permission. And Nintendo did not want the project to go forward for whatever reason it was. It could have been as simple as they wanted 51% of the revenue split. And Microsoft said, wait, we agreed to 50-50. And Nintendo said, you don't like it? Done. I don't care if the game's finished. You're not getting it anymore. It came down to Nintendo at the end of the day. And that's the simplified version. Nintendo shut it down.
Okay.
They need to do something to release this, man, at this point, because it's like, it's been so long. Like, I really wish that they would come to, because like, this is just petty now at this point. I can see them being like back then, like GoldenEye had such a big name, and it was like, okay, this could affect things like sales maybe of systems. But at this point, it's just like, it's so old,
Limited run games.
You do wonder, if Phil and the president of Nintendo should get on the phone and reopen negotiations again. Because I mean, back then, right? I mean, Nintendo, took Rare and everything. So I think things are a lot different as far as the relationship they had. I think that's a lot better now, obviously, with Banjo and everything. So yeah, I mean, hopefully, they are talking about it as we speak, that maybe they can bring this back for the fans.
I think they should, because it would be a great crossplay. Would be phenomenal on Switch and on Xbox if it was on PlayStation, but if it's not, whatever, and that would be so cool. That would be so cool, and like it's not going to affect anything. Like GoldenEye, the franchise GoldenEye is not, it's Goldeneye. You know,
Right.
people remember it, but it's not what it was, before. So
and that's the thing. It really is a petty matter. And back then with this release, it could have been as something as simple and petty as Nintendo was looking at the game, and they said, "Oh, it might sell 5 million copies on Xbox 360. We might only sell 2 million copies on the Wii. We're not going to let that happen.
Yeah,
we want to be the platform."
It definitely would have sold better on Xbox 360.
Oh yeah, And, I mean, it could have been that. It could have been something that petty. And I mean, that's unfortunately that is Nintendo for certain products. They can be that petty company, and that's reality. That's business.
Let's go over to Nintendo and their financial report. That's Monday. So Monday they'll have their financial report out, and it's going to, I guess, show us how many Switch systems sold throughout the holidays. That'd be October, November, December. And as of now, they have their Switch reported last at 68.3 million units. And I think most people expected to have passed the 3DS when they put this report in, which was at that time 75.94 million.
Let's go for 80.
Wait, John, did you say 63? I think you meant 68 million, right?
68.3, and then the 3DS is at 75.94. So MVG, you said 80. You think they're going to make that push? You think they're going to have sold just almost 12 million Switch systems in three months?
1,000%.
Wow, 80 million's old. That's a lot of systems to get done this fast.
You think they sold that? They're at 80 million right now? I don't know.
11.7 million in October, November, December.
It's hard to imagine. It's difficult. I mean, I don't think you're wrong, but if it's that, I will be stunned.
I think it's going to be close. It's going to be very closer at it.
I think 80 is a pretty good estimate, because last year for Q3, Nintendo moved 10.81 million. So if we did exactly that, we're coming in at a little over 79 million.
This is a holiday with Animal Crossing.
This is a holiday with Animal Crossing. We could see the sale figures in Japan. They were incredibly strong. America was mostly flat in December. November was a little higher. November was considerably higher, but we don't know shipping. We don't know how many extra units they may have shipped in anticipation of this during the months of August or September. We know they did have a big shipment in terms of weight. I believe it was in October, but that also included things like Ring Fit. So we don't have an accurate gauge in terms of hardware shipped, but 80 million should be an easy lock.
I'm just curious to see how bad the pandemic affected Christmas.
Okay, for like shipments and everything, because the Switch was sold out quite a bit throughout.
It was year on year. It was up. It was up in Japan. It was doing amazing. I think like Nate said, it was a bit flat because it didn't have the Pokemon game, for the West, so it didn't have that. But it's still, Animal Crossing was still one of the huge holiday sellers for it. So 80 million. Like Nate said, if it's right where it was before, and it's year on year, it's higher in Japan. It should be. Maybe like what MVG's saying too. So maybe 12 million, maybe somewhere around there, man. So that's pretty good. Past the 3DS. 3DS took a while to get to where it got to. It took a little bit of time. 3DS was around, it seemed like forever too. So
the 3DS will be passed. That means it'll put it right behind the Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance at 81.51 million units.
GBA Advance was crazy though, because GBA, it sold like 20 million. It sold really fast in a short amount of time before the DS came out.
Yeah,
so I always appreciate how crazy the Game Boy Advance rage was. They made all sorts of models. They're like, here's the SP and here's a micro, here's this. They just made everything like, all right, DS. And it was like, we just got started with the Game Boy Advance. Like, what's going on? Because it was 2000, right? It was 2000, and then 2004 DS release, or was it 2005? I know it was.
Well, remember that Nintendo was saying that the DS wasn't the successor to the Game Boy Advance. It was like the third pillar on the side, the third pillar. Even though I played GBA games back when compatible.
Yeah,
they had to cover their ass. They were like, if the DS bombs, we have a backup plan of a new Game Boy. And then the DS was like, we're selling like 25 million units a year. But like, Game Boy successor? What are you talking about? We got the DS.
So, because the DS didn't start out hot. It kind of it was a little shaky at the beginning, and then they had to revision the DS Lite, and then that's when that took off. The DS, like, because like the regular DS was ugly as hell, man. That thing was just
it's just a big clunky silver box thing. And once the DS Lite came out, you had, because that's when Nintendo dropped, Brain Age dropped, Beyonce commercials started airing. Everyone was buying a DS.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if it's still going to be Mario Kart at the top as well.
Yeah, because it was bundled with it. It was bundled. It was bundled with the.
Because Animal Crossing was like right behind it. Like I really do wonder if Animal Crossing is going to be like the next big.
Dude, Scott the Woz bought all the Mario Kart bundle. He bought like 1 million of them. So
that's true. But like, yeah, Animal Crossing at 26 million, as reporting to 28.99. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean,
you'll probably see both of them cross. Those both could cross 30 million.
Yeah, there might be a 31 and then a 30 or something like that.
That's freaking
31.
Yeah, that's nuts, by the way. That's insane.
It is,
with that with the attach ratio, you know, like the install base to attach, like, that's just.
You're also probably going to see Breath of the Wild cross 20 million on the Switch. With that's amazing for a Zelda game on one platform. Then
and Smash, right?
Yeah,
Smash cross 20.
Smash is at 21 already. Smash.
Oh yeah,
Smash
okay.
Yeah, but you might see Pokemon Sword and Shield cross 20 million because of the DLC, and it sounded like that game was going to fail based on what was going on the internet. I guess
Odyssey could cross 20 million.
Odyssey could. So they might end up with a bunch of 20 million unit sellers too here for games. So it's this next report's gonna be pretty big for them overall. And I wonder if they have any other news. I don't know. They're gonna have their investors meeting as well. Is that one they do here for the 9 months?
I'd have to.
I'll have to look to see if they have that scheduled, because sometimes they don't do them. I thought they only did them at the 6 month and the 1 year.
Yeah, I'd have to check their financial meeting schedule.
Yeah, because we need to hear from some of the investors to ask if they can, get like advanced tickets for Mario, the Super Nintendo World or something.
That's April, right? That they do that? They do all that?
I thought it's April. I thought that's their annual investors meeting is April.
Yeah, that's like April, because like it's March, the end of the year, and then they have like then they let us know about everything. So I think it's around April or so, April or May or something.
Yeah,
like
I think this is going to be a release of info, and that's it.
Yeah, this should just be the Q3 results. To put out the little PDF detailing some of their upcoming releases for the end of the fiscal year. And I mean, they still have to date things. We still don't know when Nintendo Detective Club, that was supposed to release this fiscal year in Japan, and it doesn't even have a release date yet.
Yes. I don't know if they'll have any other announcements. That'll be interesting to see, because we have Mario 3D World coming up soon. So I don't know if they have any other announcements for us around this time.
Snap.
Maybe there'll be some Pokemon news coming up. That's not a bad idea.
Oh, maybe
get that kicking,
Pokemon?
that rolling. Maybe.
I was talking about Pokemon Snap. Were you talking about something else? What were you talking about?
What?
What? I was talking about Pokemon Snap. Is there something else coming? What?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
What would that be?
Maybe Pokemon stuff. Maybe other stuff.
Yeah, that's not Nintendo. That's the Pokemon company.
That's true. That's true. That's the Pokemon company. It's not Nintendo.
Yeah. Returnal comes out the same day as Pokemon Snap.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. I just realized
hot take. I'm more excited for Returnal than I am Pokemon Snap.
I don't think it's a lot of this podcast. I don't think it's a hot take. I mean, Pokemon Snap is a very different type of game,
Yeah, I mean, you're on rail taking pictures of Pokemon.
Yeah, you're on. I mean, that's not going to be exciting for a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's still Pokemon, so
that's true.
And it's like just after, I'm sure all the hype will have happened to get the anniversary kicked off and all of this. People are just going to look for anything Pokemon to buy. I mean, the amount of money George's not here, but people spend on cards. They'll buy the game for $60 just to have it. Some people might not even open it. They might just leave it sealed and put it up somewhere.
The game looks fantastic. It looks great.
So I think Pokemon Snap is going to be off and running quick. I think there are going to be a lot of those.
The nostalgia thing too. I mean, people just remember it from their childhood. Like, a lot of people just remember it, and they might not even like it that much, but it's just like a nostalgic type of thing, for a lot of people. So.
Hey, a lot of people ask for it, so now they got to buy it because it exists.
It only took them 20 years.
How does it not have Labo support with that Labo camera?
Because they're not corny. Because there's no need for it. Because they're not corny people.
You're a photographer.
Nate, I looked through the Labo the VR again 2 days ago. It's right up there actually. And the reason they don't have the Pokemon Snap feature for it is because they're showing us mercy. All right.
Yes. That Labo VR is the worst.
I don't know how people play that for more than 5 minutes. I went back.
Horrible.
This is
should still be there as an option.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's like it's like 240p. It's like not even.
Yeah, I've still never touched a Labo. I've never seen a Labo.
It's horrible, man. I can't stand that.
It's tough. Yeah, that one is. I mean, I'd like to see them do more stuff with VR in the future because I think Nintendo would be very creative about it. But I think that's like at their test run. That's like their balance. Now they got to build on it.
not that Dollar General VR. No, man. No. I'm good.
Great. Evan, we're all done with Discord questions.
Yep, all set there.
Okay, cool. Let me go back to the super chats here. Junior says, greetings from Switzerland. Second time in a row that I catch you guys live. I really need to go to bed a little early anyways. Love your content. Keep up the great work. Also, props to OJ. Loved his Sony Japan video.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Shout out to Switzerland too, by the way. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
All of Switzerland.
All of Switzerland.
Veluxian says, be honest, do any of you still have Christmas decorations up?
No. I didn't put any.
I did Christmas the day after. What, dude?
I don't even put any. I don't put any up, so then I don't have to take any down. So
once
once
the presents have been unwrapped, it's time to.
Yeah, but she's like ripping that thing up like 12:01 on the 26th.
Oh, dude, yeah. Nothing worse than a Christmas tree in like February that's still sitting there.
Yeah.
And Jovan says, new Switch will be called XL and XL Lite and launch with Klonoa 3. Side note, 5th star on Platinum's site is for Scalebound. Fingers crossed.
He's trolling with everything he just said.
What his star is.
I mean, you did say it would be a small project, right? So
Klonoa 3 would be incredible.
What did you say?
Klonoa 3?
I was going to say the star is probably like either DLC or a soundtrack or something like that.
Probably Wonderful 102.
I thought about DLC for Wonderful 101, something like that. But I mean, if you look at all the stars on that site, they're all different random things. Like there's one that's like a studio. So who knows?
Wasn't it an April Fool's joke?
Yeah. Yes. And then it actually turned into something, didn't it?
I think so.
It would be cool if they went back and actually made a good Turtles game. Like if they actually got another crack at it, but they actually put like the good team on it. That would be cool.
I feel like he kept saying it's gonna be really small. It's gonna be like this small thing. So I'm thinking it's like more something with fanfare. Maybe it's like a full art book or something, or released like that. Like everyone's thinking a video game. It could be like legit like book or something that you get to buy. So I was trying to figure out what it would be, but the way that it got brought up is that we shouldn't expect a full blown release of something. But who knows? Maybe he's trying to lower expectations to surprise people. That's Kamiya, that's what he likes to do. He likes to do that and block people on Twitter.
Yeah, I got
Shire.
Oh
wait, we weren't talking about Sorry, I was distracted by people.
Well, at least you have to say something to Jason for him to block you. Like, but Kamiya, dude, you gotta say anything.
I didn't say anything to him. I just got.
No, you must have got brought. No. You had to have said something to get.
Okay,
blocked.
I said he was a baby for the beef with Dr.
Look how quick it went from I didn't say anything to I dropped a big heat bomb on him.
I always think that. I just think it's funny.
I didn't say anything to him. I just called him a baby little bitch. And you know, that's it. You know,
I got blocked and insulted. Jason Schreier actually was like, he posted a picture of one of my tweets and said, "This is the kind of person who isn't worth listening to." And I was like, "Damn, fuck you, Jason Schreier."
If you're listening, dude, I don't even know you. You type a lot. Good for you, bud. You know, forgive me.
That was great.
I'm sorry, Jason, dude. I'm a good person, I swear.
Yeah, Kamiya will block you though if you just tag him half the time.
I didn't do anything, dude. I swear I didn't tag him or anything.
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything. I swear I did not tag him or anything. My dude Blanchard is.
If someone gets you in a Twitter thread and they tagged him and you're just like, yeah, I like the Wonderful 101, he'll be like, blocked.
I didn't tag him with anything. Somebody must have tagged me in there with him because I got unblocked by him.
No, you probably got into Twitter beef while he was tagged in the conversation.
No,
You love your Twitter beef.
look. People start shit. I just say something back.
Yeah, Camille blocked me at one point, then he unblocked me for some reason. So I'm not blocked now, at least.
Yeah, but if you tweet at him in English, he will block you.
I would expect that. Yeah.
Oh,
Fury Panda says, Modern Vintage Gamer, as someone who is taking computer science classes and mess with Unity and Unreal Engine, how much code is different to develop for one system compared to the other?
I will tell you, I don't have much experience with Unreal Engine. I've done a little bit of Unity, but from what I understand, they're completely different engines. And it's one of the reasons why when you hear about engine swaps in games where they say we got to switch from Unreal to Unity or Unity Unreal, it's a big process. So
okay.
they effectively do the same thing, but the way that they get to that point is extremely different to each other.
Oh, okay. And Darkbee says, rumor has it that Balan Wonderworld started out as a mobile game, but then was changed to consoles and PC.
I believe it.
I kind of believe that.
Diablo. Got it.
You know what? I do kind of believe that, actually.
I don't believe it, but it may have started as something weird. I just can't believe it's a mobile game because it's big and open, and I don't see how they'd monetize it. So that's why I think it's just a terrible console game.
The only way I can see them monetizing it is because they have that center hub world, and you have basic currency that you find in, and they're like, we'll sell you this stuff without you having to play the game. And you're just like, why would I play the game? I'll just buy the stuff. And that's the only way I can see it, is that hub world was designed to monetize on top of. That's just what I could try to figure out there. But I don't know, the way it kind of looks and plays at times, it's not that hard to believe, I guess. Man. Kentucky Cruz says, I was able to unlock World 2 and 3 in Balan demo.
I'm sorry.
J2 Blue says, congrats on episode 200. Hashtag glasses gang.
Glasses gang.
That's a thing.
Hello.
Yeah, Nate, wear your glasses.
You should wrap a pair of glasses around your icon there, Nate.
Yeah, Nate.
No, I will not.
Black John says, should Sony and Microsoft have delayed the release of next-gen consoles?
Wait, what was his name?
Black John.
Oh, no. Oh, wait.
You had to say it a little bit before you said his name. Black John.
I tweeted last year that I said that the systems weren't ready, and dude, I got so much hate.
No, I think there
videos made about it. I
think you were right, MVG, because looking at this now, we still don't have expandable storage for the PS5. The next PS5 game that's, I guess, would be considered on a larger scale is not out to the end of April, beginning of May. So that would put it 5 months after this PS5 launched, basically.
Yep.
I feel like they could have come out in March.
Yeah, I mean, we would have had better firmware for these systems too. They both need a firmware update. PlayStation 5 needs a firmware update. I mean, rest mode. Do you trust putting your PlayStation 5 in rest mode?
Yeah, I do all the time.
I turn mine off. I just power mine off every time.
Depends what it's doing.
You can't even put an SSD drive in your PS5.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
It's February. It's been like 4 months now since the system's come out. Come on, Sony. When are you going to give us the features that you promised that you would give us? It's been 4 months.
I will say, I think Microsoft certainly could have used the delay. That's obvious. Like with what happened with Halo Infinite, I think I feel like they were hoping that Sony would be like, yeah, maybe we should delay it till next year. Because like we're talking about Sony not till May. I don't know when the next Microsoft game's coming out.
Halo Infinite holiday.
Dude, that might be November.
Oh God. I still think we're gonna get the multiplayer in the summer.
I mean,
let's say October, best case scenario. Yeah, let's say it's October, best case scenario. If they can't hit October and we get a multiplayer flight over the summer, or even a beta over the summer, let's say around June, that delay, especially based on the updates they've put out, the updates look nice. They are doing a lot of work to this project. If that game can come in strong, that delay is going to be erased in the minds of a lot of people. Because Sony, whether through their own fault or just, COVID, whatever, Sony isn't capitalizing on this large window that Microsoft is giving them right now. Both are selling their hardware well, neither have software to really deliver that knockout punch. Nintendo, they will really be the one to capitalize on this right now. Nintendo, if they come out with their Pro or revision later this year, and you have Breath of the Wild 2, you have 3D World coming out in a month, Nintendo is going to take advantage of all these opportunities that Sony and Microsoft are presenting them. Microsoft's delay for Halo Infinite is looking a little better day by day, but we know Sony is going to deliver these games. We know Ratchet & Clank is coming, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon, God of War. If they can deliver those this year, I mean, they're going to look good. It's just communicate with us, Sony. Give us an idea of when we're getting these firmware updates, when we can get external SSD, when we can actually put in an SSD to expand our storage on the PlayStation 5 itself. Like, Sony, you are selling your hardware purely based on hype right now.
What if Final Fantasy 16 comes out this year?
Yeah, 16 comes out this year. I mean, Sony could end the year looking polar opposite of where they are right now. They could look incredibly strong.
If they fit all that in for May to the December, I mean, you figure November, they probably won't release one of these massive games like midway through December or something. So if they do all of that in like the last 6 months, basically, of the year, that would be huge.
I mean, huge, because we're going to get a big release pretty much every month.
Yeah.
It's going to be new. I mean, and I'm sure everyone in the back of their mind saying either Horizon or God of War is getting delayed until 2022. At the same time, I'm sure everyone in the back of their mind is also saying God of War is probably a PlayStation 4 game as well.
Yes, I actually think it is. That's the thing. Some people don't think it is. I kind of feel like it probably, even when it started up development, obviously, they were like, we're going to do it for the PS4 as well. We might as well. Like, it's still a thing right now, so... Why not?
Especially if they were targeting 2020 for the release of Ragnarok. They had to be building it on the PlayStation 4 because Horizon Forbidden West is coming to PlayStation 4, and that's a second half of 2021 release. So you have to think God of War is in that same situation. And I mean, maybe it's not. We'll find out. I just date Ratchet & Clank. Give us something to be excited with our PlayStation 5s right now, Sony. That's all we're asking.
Yeah, I think that's good. I still, on Microsoft's side, I'm a little disappointed right now.
Microsoft has to come out and make some big Game Pass deals. Like the Medium is a good Game Pass game. It was a nice move for them to have it on the Game Pass service. They have to continue this trend. Like we just got 3 Yakuza games added to Game Pass as well, but 3, 4, and 5 are the Yakuza collection.
Yep.
And
great too. On Game Pass, it's awesome. Yeah.
If Microsoft can make some big deals of major third-party releases that are going to come in 2021, they soften that blow of not having their own published exclusive. Like Village won't happen for Game Pass at launch. We know that because I think Sony has the marketing deal. But if they had something of that caliber for launch day on Game Pass and a third-party wise, you're going to forget about the Halo delay. Then all of a sudden, Halo Infinite will be upon us. Now, whether or not the game's good, we don't know. That's the big question.
Well, they keep also talking about the Japanese market as well.
Yes.
So I don't know if they'll do anything. Like they could make Game Pass deals with that in mind. Like Tales of Arise, they could try doing something with that if they wanted to.
Yeah, because they do have the marketing of what's that game Namco's putting out that looks like Tales.
Scarlet
Nexus. If they could throw that on Game Pass day one, it's not going to be a hugely popular game, but it's something to make it look like they have something.
It would be cheaper than going after a massive game is the thing, but it would just add to Game Pass. Those are the kind of moves they should do while they're trying to get their studios are going to take a while to get stuff, spending.
I think that game will probably come later to Game Pass. I don't know if it's going to be a launch day, but it'll definitely come later because they did get stuff like Devil May Cry. They got that on Game Pass, right?
Yeah, true.
So.
And who knows? Maybe they show Starfield this year, and it's closer than people are thinking.
That's the big thing. That's the big thing that we're waiting for is when does the Bethesda Microsoft deal become finalized, and what are we going to see from the immediate outcome of this partnership? Is Starfield going to be exclusive if it comes out this year for Xbox Series X?
Big thing. Yep. I feel like once that deal is signed, we'll know. Like as soon as
they're gonna say immediately
next day. Hey, Starfield's Xbox Game Pass only.
Yeah, that's really what we're waiting for to really figure out Microsoft's 2021. Because if they come out, the deal's finalized, and they say Starfield exclusive Series X later this year, it's okay. Now Microsoft has some momentum building on their side.
Yeah, that would be the big thing. So they said the deal will be done by June, but it could be done anytime before then too.
Yeah, that's the latest it could be done. It could close any minute between now and then.
Yep. So we'll see. But yeah, I do think you're right, MVG. I think you were dead on with that assessment that they could have come out in March and it would have been fun.
That's what I always said that they should have done. I think March would have been a much better time for these systems to have come out. That would have eliminated the supply issue somewhat. I mean, the scalping thing is a scalping thing that's never going to go away, but I think they would have had more systems to sell and more people would have got them and the ability to have gotten them. And then there would have been some more games available to pick up and play on launch as well. So I do think that, yeah, they probably should have just held it a little longer.
Just think that like the Switch showed that you don't need to launch right in the holiday season to sell. Like gaming is so big now that you just don't need to do it.
It almost hurts them more than it helps if you think about it, because I mean, obviously, you know, they get sold out immediately and they make a lot of money and stuff like that. They have successful launches, but I mean, a lot of people do miss out on these systems that you know want to get them, and that's where we are now.
They're going to sell out day one, and then you can spend the rest of the year building up, selling more, and getting ready for the holiday, and having all that stock ready for a guaranteed sellout. So, yeah. Well. And then Strawman says, "Congrats on episode 200. If each of you Spawncast regulars can make one other Spawncast regular to dye their hair one color, what would you make them dye their hair? What color?
What would you tell me to?
Dude, let's see that purple beard. Purple beard, MVG. Come on.
They said facial hair too. So hair, facial hair.
I think you should go red or red beard. Match the room.
I would really love to see just because I mean we joke a lot about RGT. RGT is a really chill dude in general. I think it'd be funny to see RGT with like fiery pink hair or something. I feel like he'd hate it.
Oh my gosh.
I could see him doing that.
John with the ninja cut would be. I think I'd like to see something like that.
Blue.
Yeah. The color. I don't know what color that is. It's like a.
It's like electric.
I want OJ to go blonde.
Blonde. Yeah.
Blonde.
Okay.
Just one streak and like a racing stripe on the right side.
I want to see Spy. I want to see him cut his eyebrow like all the TikTokers do.
They cut their eyebrow?
They just like a cut, just like a slit in the eyebrow. You could rock it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
John's like, what did you just say?
It's the boxer. It's the boxing scar, but they don't want to actually, fight someone.
True, like actually get a scar. Yeah.
All right.
I'm getting too old for the internet.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
How do you think I feel?
That's true.
Oh, don't say that.
We're around the same age, MVG, so it's all good, dude.
Yeah, MVG made the internet.
This year, right?
I'm 47. I'm turning 47 this year.
There you go.
Changes every time he says something.
You've been turning 47 for like 4 years.
No. What? No, for real though. I'm 47 this year, April.
Uh-huh.
I don't believe you at all. If OJ says for real, it's not for real.
If OJ's for real, then I'm in my 20s and not 12.
I'm turning 47 though.
Okay, Dragoon says, when do you think Oddworld Soulstorm will release on the PS5? That's a good question, because I thought it's just still like the year, right? 2021 is just on it, I think. I don't know. I mean, honestly, they could put that into a state of play or just even drop it on Twitter. I'd like to think it'll be out over the summer, but I don't know. People have been waiting to hear more about that game for a while. Matthew says, after hearing Max talk about it so much, I finally decided to play through the Yakuza series and I'm absolutely loving it. I started with 0 and I'm currently on Kiwami 2.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. I think it's the advertising for those games makes them seem so serious, but they're so silly. So I always love hearing that. People tweet me. Somebody tweeted me the other day that they bought a PS5 and Kiwami 1 and they're playing through it. And I love it.
Then Mac Mega says, Click should start with RE1 Director's Cut to hear the legendary basement theme.
How about I listen to the basement theme on YouTube and decide?
Do it right now.
Right now?
It's a meme on my channel, the basement theme. It's like a wah wah wah. It's like a
Oh, what's it called?
It's Resident Evil basement theme from the director's cut.
Yeah, Resident Evil 1 director's cut, like basement theme.
Matthew says, how are we almost in February and Sony still hasn't released SSD expansion? And Vijay was saying that. Yeah, I know. They should. It's just NVMe drives. We already have them that are fast enough. Yeah.
Someone tell me the answer. Help me out here.
Nintendo Power says, do you think the PS5 will get theme support? I love that feature on PS4, but I don't know how that would work with the murals of PS5 home menu. I think they'll eventually do that because, I mean, themes are good to give away for pre-order bonuses and things like that.
They'll let those in. They'll let those in eventually.
Riku Key 2 says Kenna Bridge of Spirits is supposed to be out in March. That's the next PS5 game I'm looking forward to then. There we go.
I'll check Kenna out. Looks pretty cool.
Johnny says, congrats on 200 episodes. I started listening in early 2018. I don't always watch live, but I watch every week. Can't wait to get the new shirt. Taker610 says, we have to get some Nintendo news next week. Yeah.
Oh, we will.
Direct.
Hey.
Why you gotta do that?
Can we get an earnings report without people expecting a direct MVG?
I had somebody, I was like, yo, looks like Apex Legends might get some news direct. I'm like, bruh. It's freaking Apex Legends, man. Like, God damn.
How about we shoot for the week after next week? How about that? Okay, we'll just call it for that. All right? Hold on. Let's just put it out a little bit, okay? Let's shoot for that week. Let's do that. Solid Crusader says, I haven't played any PS5 games for about a month and currently just waiting for the Division 2 getting PS5 upgrade on February 2nd with Resident Evil crossover. Very likely revisiting that game. Zoob M says, you don't know Odyssey is by Quebec. Where's Jordan? He's gone. Come back to him.
What the heck is this?
Zur says, did Click start playing Resident Evil with the best one, Resident Evil 0? Click has not started playing Resident Evil yet.
Okay, what is this theme song?
Do not, whatever you do not start with Resident Evil 0. Like,
that game gets slandered too much. It's
it's
not
for
the best one.
No, that game's for guys like us, or like for you in particular. That game's for like the in-depth Resident Evil fans. That is not a good game to start with.
It's like the 6th game you play. Yeah.
Yeah. If you really love the formula of old school Resident Evil, then that game's too hard. It's just too difficult.
Start with two. Cinnamon the Hacker says, anyone on the Spawncast remember Rogue Galaxy for PS2? I do. It's actually installed on my PS5.
Yes.
I love that game. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it works on the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Shinru says, did anyone get the Ori Collector's Edition? I got it for the Nintendo Switch, and it's awesome to have a physical version of this game, Ori for Smash. I did not get the Collector's Edition.
I need to get it.
I want to get it, but isn't it like $130?
$150.
Yeah,
$150.
Comes with both games, though, doesn't it?
Comes with the soundtrack for both games. Comes with cards, and I think like an owl pin.
I just got the 2 physicals.
Angel says, do you guys remember Hunter the Reckoning series? Yes, we used to play that on the original Xbox after we were done with Halo.
Redeemer and all. I played them a lot. You know, that actually took me a long time to beat. I sucked at that game for like the first month of playing it. It took me like a month to beat.
Those are fun days.
Yeah.
Terabyte Gaming says we want a new Banjo-Kazooie.
Good luck.
Zaire Miller says, I think the problem with Balan is it has too many ideas but doesn't execute on any and oversimplify on control. Feels like a game made in the 90s. Yeah, I would say so. Hits Overhype says, when Sean says he's having company over, hold on. Okay. It really means a $5 hot and ready with crazy bread and store brand Tums.
Almost.
He's not completely wrong.
He definitely has a burning sensation, that's for sure.
Jake says, could Pokemon Snap have gyro though?
I think
it does. All right, Jake. Yeah, Jake Reynolds.
A lot of games could that don't use it properly.
Yeah, did they? Yeah, well, yeah, because if you have it in Splatoon, it's like almost unfair if somebody else.
Most shooters have gyro nowadays. Yeah, if you're playing on console, you should have gyro.
Yeah, did they show? I thought did they show gyro for Pokemon Snap on the Switch? I have to double check because they put out some stuff with the store page recently too. So
I'm almost positive it'll have gyro controls. Like it's gonna have it. Probably.
It basically essentially becomes a first-person shooter when you zoom in because you're trying to snap the pictures of the different Pokemon. Denim says, "Love the Spawncast from West Coast Canada. Would love to hear you, Gal and guys, chat with Mad Little Pixel one day. I think Sean knows him. You can talk to Sean RGT about that. Ethan R says, I'm a little worried if Sean will make it to 300.
I saw that super chat. That's a good one.
Oh my god.
If he dies in the next 2 years, they're gonna clip this and act like we're all the worst friends ever.
I'm gonna blame Ethan, punk. That's who I'm blaming.
Blitz says bought a Xbox 360 with OG Blades Dash.
All right.
And you liked it. Wow, I haven't seen that. I would like to see that dashboard again. Actually get a 360 with that. Yeah, I do miss that.
I have one Xbox that still has the blades.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, did you do a video? Have you done a video on you should do a video, just explore, literally sit down and just explore the dashboard for like 10 minutes.
It's on the list.
I would watch that video. That would be awesome. And nostalgia that'd be rough.
I would watch that video too, but I watch all your videos, so it doesn't matter. But I would watch that one twice.
I think I could make a video for like 20 minutes just flicking through the blades, not even like making any commentary.
I would watch
ASMR. Call it
yeah.
ASMR.
J2 Blue says, do you guys think the next Street Fighter will use RE Engine or Unreal Engine 5? I would love to do it with RE Engine. I think that would have been cool.
That's a very, very, very good question. And I think they're going to go with Unreal 5. I think they're going to go with Unreal again.
I agree.
I think it would be really cool to see them try to use RE Engine for that. But yeah, you're probably
I just don't think they're going to need to. But yeah, Unreal Engine. I just hope that it's not like Street Fighter 5. That's the thing that I just not go back to what Street Fighter 4 was, please.
Stack on 10 says, Nate, are you playing Blue Fire? How is it?
I am not playing Blue Fire, but I will have a code on Monday to play it.
We didn't talk about Cyber Shadow, did we? Did we talk about Cyber Shadow?
No, we can talk about Cyber Shadow to wrap up though. That's not a problem. We can do that. Then we have Jay Sylvester, and then Denim says Final Fantasy 16 will be December 2022, hands down.
It's a pretty weird date.
Seems so odd to launch a game like that December for Final Fantasy.
I don't know. There's a lot of talk about Final Fantasy 16 trying to make it out in the next like 12 to 13.
Well, he said 2022, so we said next year December.
Yeah.
No, it won't go that far, would it?
I think it's going to come out later on this year or the beginning of next year.
Yeah, they like to launch the main Final Fantasies at the end of the year. So, I mean, it's got to either be this year, like at the end of the year, or it's like a November or October next year. You know, but I don't see it going past this year. But we'll see. You never know what happens in development, right?
Yeah, that's true. Bow before PC Master Race says Jess says there are 2 AAA unannounced Xbox games this year.
That is true. He actually made mention of that on the recent Nate the Hate podcast that MVG and myself did with Jez earlier in the week.
I love Jez.
And they are?
That's for Jez to say, not me.
Okay. Interesting. Ethan R says Ethan says there are 11 AAA unannounced Xbox games this year. Juice Man Vaughn says thoughts on Cyber Shadow and should I wait on an inevitable sale? There we go. CMVG, let us right into it. What do we think about Cyber Shadow?
I beat it and didn't love it.
Okay.
I think my thing is that it doesn't do anything new or original. It just feels like old school Ninja Gaiden. Like it's just, I guess whenever you're doing an indie game, I like when you try and add in some sort of modern twist, and they didn't. It's just, in fact, I beat the whole game. I recorded the whole game, and I was going to do a video, and I just felt so meh about it. I ended up not even posting it.
I think the reasons why you didn't enjoy it, Max, are the reasons why I did like it. I just felt like it doesn't really, you know exactly what you're getting, and you're right. It's got that old school Ninja Gaiden kind of gameplay about it. The pixelated artwork, the 8-bit sound, the chip tunes, and everything. I'm into it, man. I love it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm playing it on Game Pass, and I'm really enjoying the game. I think it's awesome.
Okay, what do you think, Nate?
I'm enjoying the game. I beat it on the Switch, and this will upset some people, but honestly, if you have any other platform to play it on, I would recommend playing it on that over the Switch, just because the Joy-Con D-pad is not well suited for this style of game. it causes a lot of inaccuracies, and especially with the game's platforming system, when you have to do the down strike to bounce off an enemy to get to a platform, the D-pad simply doesn't work well to get that forward momentum after the bounce. But I've been playing it on Xbox Series X because it's on Game Pass.
Don't you have the SN30 Pro Plus?
Yeah, but I like to play these type of games in handheld mode. Can't play that.
But you're playing it on the Series X right now.
Yeah, but I figure if I'm going to play it on the system on the TV, I may as well get achievements.
Okay, I guess. I would say the SN30 Pro Plus is still a better controller than the Series X for this kind of game.
Oh, the D-pad's pretty good on the Series X, though. I haven't had any problems. I've been doing the crazy feats of like, don't hit a fly on this elevator. And
oh yeah.
I don't know why I'm putting myself through that hell, but I am, just to get the achievements, and they're kind of fun. And I found it funny because I did look at the feats of the game, and it did make mention if you don't hit that first enemy in the back, you get the achievement. And when I was playing on the Switch, I went right behind them and I killed them, and then I got insulted by them with the unique dialogue that nobody else.
You're the only one that got that, by the way, because you're the one that went behind him and hit him dishonorably. Go on.
Well, hey, they leave a whole opening behind us. I'm like, I'm gonna kill him. He has this huge opening behind to kill him. Like, you fought like a coward. I tell Sean, fight him head on. You beat me with honor. I was like, wow, thanks, game. It was designed. They did that intentionally, knowing people would do that.
I mean, you're the one that did it, though.
But see, I discovered that it had unique dialogue by dishonoring myself and murdering. It did call me a coward.
It did.
But then I played it on the Xbox to get the achievement. I was like, okay, he's not that hard anyways.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there beating the hell out of him. But whenever he jumps back up, or when he's recovering from the jump and I'm hitting him, it counted as me hitting him in the back. I was like, shit, I didn't hit him in the back. He's vulnerable. I was like,
you just can't help yourself, Nate. Like,
I was standing right in front of him. I eventually got the achievement for it anyways. And I can't believe it uses the number 16 for achievements, because that's giving me flashbacks of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade game when I would have achievements like 3, and it screwed up everyone's achievement number.
Everyone's achievement number. Yeah, I remember that.
So everyone would have like 3 or a 5 or a 7 or a 2, and you'd be like, I can never have an even number again because Ninja Turtles had to give us these stupid factorials.
They make you. That's the thing. They make you.
I was like, oh no.
They make you have to play it and try to get all the achievements, or you mess up your score.
Yep, and I'm forever stuck on like, I'm on a 2, so I'm looking at Cyber Shadow. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna unlock exactly what I need to get back to 0. I'm getting off this 2.
Jay Sylvester says, Overthink Gaming, why does that dude dislike my boy Sean and Dreamcast guy? He legit just makes videos to bring them down. Don't give up, boys. Your videos are class. Don't give up.
Yeah, I'm never gonna give up. So, yeah, sometimes people say I suck, but then I'm like, okay, but I enjoy making videos, so I don't care.
This is from Nomad for Miss Click. Miss Click, not playing any RE game hurts my soul.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Miss Click is gonna play Resident Evil game. She's gonna start with Resident Evil 2.
I'll play it eventually, but I literally tell you, if like 2 of you show up to my chat, I'm gonna be upset, and not just you. I'm talking about everybody else in chat. Everybody else on chat.
You gotta title it correctly.
Listen, y'all
title it correctly.
Everyone wants to see someone play Resident Evil for the first time, though.
Yeah, so you gotta say like first time playing Resident Evil. Like, or you got to title it that way. If you do it that way, you'll get a bunch of people in.
And that thumbnail that you posted on Twitter the other day, you post that.
Oh, no, not using that.
Yeah, use that. Use that one and then put like Leon or whatever one that you're playing. Do that. That would be awesome. Yes.
Yep. Start with Resident Evil 2. First time playing through it. Try it.
Cut that into a YouTube video. Oh, yo, right there. That'd be great.
Abaddon Smith says, happy 200, y'all. Thanks, Abaddon.
What's up, Abaddon?
Shinru says, I know this sounds outlandish, but can we get a Monster Hunter Warriors game? I'd buy that. Anyone else down for that?
No.
It would do well in Japan.
Xenoblade Warriors.
Well, because it's just a bunch of generic Monster Hunter. Like, they don't have, like, some of them there's, like, main characters, but there's not enough, Shinru, there's not enough, like, character, like, person lore in Monster Hunter for that to happen. There's so many better options than Monster Hunter, you know? to do. Xeno would be great.
I'm interesting.
Xeno would be fantastic.
Zooer says, I kind of want a remake in RE Engine of DMC 1 or MVC, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom, I'd love to see come back. I've been thinking a lot about this lately. I think they just need to bring Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to modern consoles. I'd be happy.
Yeah, DMC 1 doesn't make sense to bring back because it's so outdated in terms of gameplay compared to DMC 5. Resident Evil, like the Resident Evil games that they brought back with RE Engine, like Resident Evil 2, they updated them completely. But I don't know if it'll work with DMC 1. Like, are you updated to play like DMC 5? I mean, I guess, but it just depends.
Core Sonic says, what is a good name for Nintendo Switch Pro?
Nintendo Switch Pro.
New Nintendo Switch.
I think, it's going to be new Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch, and they'll just put the plus on the end. Something like that. Joven says, do you think they will bring back Soul Reaver? No, but that would be awesome.
That's Square Enix, right? No.
I would like that. That'd be really cool if they did that. That would be awesome.
I mean, it would just be a remaster. That story's done.
Yeah, right.
It can come back. It can come back, Evan. They can
not after how they ended it.
They remake it.
Well, wasn't there a leak of a final game they were going to do, and they were like 60% done with it, and one of the guys working on it posted all the stuff they were working on years and years ago? I seem to remember that.
Rascal says, for Nate, great news. 2 weeks ago, Joe's Diner got patched for PS5 back compatibility.
It's also coming to Switch.
Nice.
That's strange.
Great game. Great game.
David says,
it's Ski Sniper.
Oh God.
It's like a bundle you can buy.
For $4, you get Joe's Diner and Ski Sniper, and we include it's another horrible eShop game.
David says, hey there, everyone. My niece is getting into Final Fantasy, so I bought her Final Fantasy IX as a good place to start. Final Fantasy IX is a good one.
Nice. That's a good game.
Then you should get her Final Fantasy VI.
It's a good one too.
Nah, just go to Final Fantasy 7 after that.
No, you go to 6.
9. I think 9. Sorry, 9 and 10 age the best, I think.
I'd go back to 7 just so you can show them like what the hype is. The hype.
6. And then you introduce tactics.
Well, hold on. But they start with the 3D Final Fantasy, right? So then you got to go to another 3D Final Fantasy, and then you get them, where they're really invested in the series, and then you go to 6.
Mode 7, that was 3D,
right? I mean, ultimately, they have to get to 6.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 6.
That's the end game.
Is amazing. That game deserves more appreciation and more love.
It was good.
More people. It's amazing. It's great. And then you get to Chrono Trigger.
Wait, are you talking about Final Fantasy 3, Nate? Which one are you talking about, bro?
Oh, man. We don't need to get into the naming conventions of the Final Fantasy.
You sure it's not Final Fantasy 3? What about the Final Fantasy 3 on the DS? How about that Final Fantasy 3? How about that one?
I don't hate that game.
Liam says, happy 200th, guys. The 300th should air New Year's Eve 2022. I was wondering how you felt about Microsoft getting another Bethesda level acquisition soon. On one hand, I'm glad it isn't Google or Amazon, but it's nerve-wracking seeing all of these buyouts. That was another rumor, is that Microsoft's talking with other studios, like big studios, to pick another one up.
Yeah, but we've known that. We know Microsoft is actively on the hunt.
Yeah, but I wonder, because Tencent's also on the hunt, if Microsoft knows that and they're...
Yeah, they absolutely know.
I feel like Tencent is another company out there looking to buy someone up that Microsoft's like, ooh, who are they going to grab? Maybe we should look around too, in case we hear anything. Like, if that would be like kind of forcing their hand a little bit if Sega came up, for example.
See, Sega is such a rough acquisition from Microsoft, just from the worldwide logistics of the deal. Tencent would still have some trouble doing it, but the problem, Tencent basically has unlimited money.
That's kind of
that
Tencent's
even makes
thing, right?
Microsoft look like nothing compared to them.
Yeah, like Tencent could be like, what is there a problem? Here's more money. Basically until it goes away. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Tencent can just be like, boom, here's $800 billion. Be like, oh.
I do wonder if they would find someone worth more than Bethesda and legit like blow out Microsoft's Bethesda deal, like with like an $8 or $9 billion acquisition.
I mean, there's been a lot of talk around the internet that maybe Tencent was looking at Take-Two. And I think if Tencent did buy Take-Two, I don't know if their acquisition would really impact their output. I think it would just be, we own Take-Two, their games are still going everywhere. So as far as us as a consumer, we're not really going to see any impacts by it. Microsoft buying another major publishing house, let's say an EA and Ubisoft type of thing, then we feel those impacts because we are looking at potentially all their IPs becoming exclusive to that brand. So Tencent, if we're looking at it like Amazon, Google, Tencent is probably the best of those three for studio acquisition.
You know what's interesting? I do wonder if Microsoft would look at Ubisoft.
I think they're worth a look. Absolutely.
Do you know why I think that? Because they have their own subscription service. They have what is it? What's that called? Uplay. And it's all people are signed up to that, right? Like there are actual people. Because if they did buy them, they could take them and say, "Hey, you're just getting moved over to Game Pass." All of a sudden, Game Pass has like a surge in numbers, and that's what part of their incentives are based around.
Yep.
I was getting a Splinter Cell game.
Microsoft needs to buy Ubisoft.
Not gonna happen.
I'm here for it.
That's kind of who I'm thinking is because I don't think WB is worth the money they're asking. So I think for them, Microsoft goes, well, let's get Ubisoft. Let's do that. That's if I had to pick one. That's the
That'd
studio.
Be wild.
Yeah, that's the studio I'd pick if or the publisher and all that I picked that Microsoft make a move on if they could.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to gauge. We don't know what they're actively looking at. We just know they're looking to make a big purchase, and you're probably not going to buy up an EA. Take-Two is probably too much money. And, I mean, if we're talking any company in the range of, let's say, $3 to $6 billion, it doesn't really narrow the search down much.
Yeah.
But Microsoft, we know Microsoft wants to expand, and they're not afraid to throw money at it. Tencent also isn't afraid to throw money at things.
And Jeff Burns says, was playing Fight Night Champion on Series X via Game Pass and wondered, is there any news on a new boxing game with real boxers? Fight Night Champions came out in 2011 for 360. No, I don't. Probably not. There probably won't be one just because of the way that the boxing world works right now. I just don't. I think there's too much in terms of logistics and rights holding and all of this stuff. Unfortunately, I don't know if we'll ever get another boxing game like we did with Fight Night Champion.
Yep. Licensing boxers is even worse now than it was then. Like trying to get it together. The boxing's ridiculous. It's a complete mess.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't. I mean, Fight Night Champion is awesome. You can play it on your Series X. It's very good.
I would love like to play as Canelo and play as Mayweather now. I mean, that'd be great to play as the best boxers now, but it's just it's not gonna happen.
I remember when that game came out, it like visually, not like Fight Night Champion.
Round three. You're thinking of round 3 on the 360.
When that came out and like you'd punch him and the sweat would go flying off of him.
It was incredible.
Oh, yeah. it was
the online play in that game was fantastic. I used to play it all the time. I loved that game. Fight Night, loved it. I loved all the Fight Night games, even like the GameCube. I used to play them all the time.
Impact though, when you like catch somebody with one of those haymakers on like the 360, like they had like that base hit and everything, and like impact was like.
Wasn't that got in that weird lawsuit, Fight Night Volume 3, where the guy had a tattoo on his chest and it was so realistic that the tattoo artist said, "You plagiarized me." So they removed the tattoo in the video game with a patch.
Boy.
That's like goes to show you how much stuff can happen with boxing and like these license like people are nuts with boxing, man. That sport's a mess. Because I used to really love boxing a lot too. That's the thing.
Becca's Live says, but for real though, if you like Pokemon, you should listen to the Shadowless podcast, right, Jordan? Jordan's not here. JD Fisher says, congrats on 200 episodes of Spawncast. OJ, because you always hype up Persona 5 Royal, I just bought it for a steal $20 in November. I finally started playing it last week and absolutely love it so far. Now I need a Vita and P4 Golden.
Yes. Or you can get P4 on the Steam too. Yeah, so that game's on Steam if you want to get it, and it definitely, depending on how you like to play games, it might play a little bit better on there for you. But yeah, Persona 5 Royal is one of the greatest games ever made. It's easily one of the best RPGs ever too.
Oh, Click's not here for this one. This is actually a good question. We'll come back to that when it comes back. Shamsa donated $100. Shamsa, thank you.
Shout out Shamsa.
Big shout outs to Shamsa. And we'll see if Click comes back. So I wanted to ask her this question here. This is a good one by Just in Time. Let me go around here to Max. Where can everyone find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy. This next week, actually, I'm doing a big video about that werewolf Earthblood. I definitely am going to try and review that because, we're talking about evil billionaires this week with the GameStop stuff. So you apparently are going to be a werewolf sneaking in and killing evil billionaires. So I'm going to play that. And I have a video coming out tomorrow that's going to be which Resident Evil should you play first? And it's like 10 minutes of raw facts about that series. I'm happy about it.
I'm actually really excited for that video. I have my notifications set. I'm ready to watch that.
I'm really happy with how it came out. I think I'm going to drop it about noon Central Time.
Central. Okay, I got you.
Angel says, so who's winning, Godzilla or Kong? Then save Mothra.
Kong.
King Kong's gonna get it. He's gonna add a gun.
I think they showed I think the trailer showed Kong winning a lot of it because they're gonna have Godzilla win in the movie.
Well, they referenced multiple times that they don't know why Godzilla is fighting things. So it's literally just gonna be like, oh, we found this generator, let's blow it up, and now they're friends. It's gonna be stupid.
And that's gonna be something like that. They're not gonna show
Mothra. Why did you say that name, Mothra? It's gonna be like Batman v Superman.
There's probably some big bad enemy that they're both gonna team up against or something, and then you're gonna see Godzilla and like Kong fighting together.
Yeah, because why would they get rid of one if they're just gonna try to make more movies down the line for more merchandise? It's not.
Did y'all watch Kong Skull Island? That's why I'm on Team Kong. In Kong Skull Island, he like does monkey kung fu to beat up lizards. I think that's part of why he's fighting him, is that he just doesn't understand.
You know why I'm on Team Godzilla? Because I remember the intro song to the cartoon from like the 70s, and it starts off with this. Yes, that one where it sits there. It's the most badass opening. It has this hyped ass like metal music, and the lyrics are sick. And there's like up from the depths, 30 stories high. And you're like, this show's gonna be awesome. It's like breathing fire, the Godzilla, and then Godzuki. And it's like, what happened? The show was so badass for 10 seconds, and then they introduced Godzuki.
I need to look at that. I need to look at that theme song now.
What the hell is a Godzuki? It's the most badass intro, and Godzuki comes in and ruins it.
Here's a question for Click. Actually, first, Click, where can everyone find you?
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. Oh, okay. Bye, Tack. Thanks for having me. You can find me here on YouTube as Misclick Gaming, or I am live almost every day on Twitch, except for Sundays as Misclick_live. We stream lots of different games there. You coming back? What are you doing, dude? What's going on? You want to say something? Okay, whatever. Yeah, thank you for having me. I don't remember what I was saying. Misclick online. You can find me there.
Okay, this is from Just in Time. If Miss Click took a well-deserved one-day vacation, but a full-day stream still needed to take place on her channel, which Spawncast member would she trust the most and least to take over for the day, and why?
Oh.
And then
there's only one answer here, Click.
And it's Sean.
I have streaming experience as well.
There's only one answer, and it better be me, Click, or I'm going to be very upset at you.
I don't think I would trust Sean with literally my keyboard's life. I don't know. I would
trust. He's the one you'd trust the least, then.
Yeah, probably.
Questions. Okay.
Yeah.
But then, who would you trust the most? Would it be OJ to run the show?
To sit in this chair
for a day and stream on your channel while you're.
It would have. I'm the only person who streams all the time.
I don't know, man.
Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
To me, the least. I feel like MVG would be the safest bet.
Yeah, but he's busy.
That's a mistake.
That'd be the worst scheduling.
I would F up some shit on your stream you wouldn't believe.
Well, I'm laughing about the idea of them. They're seeing your thumbnail. They click, oh, Miss Click. Oh, it's a female streamer. I'll click that, and it's old man MVG be like, today we're talking about code in the 3DS.
No. Hold on. If MVG messed things up on accident because he's a boomer, I wouldn't get mad about that.
No, I'm
just saying.
Oh man!
Wow, you're a boomer.
No, I said if he messed something up accidentally, I can't get mad at that.
Oh, Grandpa MVG.
Is OJ actually mad? You're not mad, are you, OJ?
OJ's done with you.
What? No, it's a hypothetical question. No, why would I be mad about that? How insecure would I have to be?
OJ's sitting there like Michael Jordan, like, and I took that personal.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, hold on. I can't say Evan because Evan would troll me super hard. John would troll me super hard. Nate would just say no to everyone. He'd be horrible to watch on a live stream.
What?
And then Max.
I'd be entertaining as hell. People would be making these stupid comments, be like, "Hey, dance." No.
You know, I would come in like wearing a bikini from your freaking closet and be like, "Hey guys, we're playing all the games."
Lord.
I would totally get your channel banned somehow.
I just chuck Doritos at TAC the whole time.
The shirt crop top. I'm like, "Hey guys, Miss Click here. Today we're playing all the Resident Evils."
Oh, see, you see click sub count go all the way down to fudging she'll have no subs, bro. 0. You'll lose every single damn sub.
Or he gets a lot because Twitch is weird like that, dude.
See, you need to say no to the chat. They backseat game and you'd be like, "No, you're supposed to go to this door." "No, I want to go to that door." You watch me and you shut your mouth and let me play the game.
Somebody in the chat said not OJ because he'd go crazy on people. I'm like, you don't watch Miss Click streams then, okay? Because Click be going off at some people in the streams. So the person who said that, you just exposed yourself because Click be going off a lot on people, okay? So.
And what happens if we took over for the day and you come back and you have like double or triple the amount of subscribers? What then? And we keep your channel for us.
Oh, okay. Yep. That's why Nate's not going to be on it. Yep.
If I triple up the numbers.
He's planning a takeover already.
Hey, sometimes you get a hostile takeover.
True. Corsonic says, "When do you think we'll be getting another Mario Party?"
Maybe this year. Let's go this year. It's party year.
There you go.
Party time. Excellent.
Instead of DLC, you're just getting a whole new game.
Yep, because that's the Nintendo way.
That'll be $60.
We could have released some DLC for $20 and made the game more expensive, but no, we're going to charge you $60 and make it more expensive for you, our fans. We love party time. Excellent.
Now, before PC Master Race says Tencent is bigger than Microsoft. Is Tencent bigger than Microsoft, Nate?
They're both in the hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean,
I'm more scared of Tencent.
I think
I had to look at
Tencent-
their values. I know Microsoft is like $1 trillion company, but I had to look at their values to really
definitely
see.
comparable there. I think I would put Microsoft bigger, but it wouldn't be by much, honestly.
let's see.
Okay, Nate will look into that.
Their 10-cent share fall after nearing $1 trillion valuation. So they're unfortunately only at 900 billion.
Time stuff.
So close.
Rough times, dude.
Kevin says, "Speaking of Splatoon, I know the time frames wouldn't have really worked, but if Nintendo had released Splatoon on 3DS, would you have bought it?"
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be interesting to see what that looked like. Huh.
3DS is awesome handheld.
Yeah, but
I would have bought it. If it's still the same game, just crappier graphics. I mean, it'd still be a good game.
That'd be interesting to see how that would go on. Rascal says, "What does everyone think of a Metroid Prime Hunters remake remaster for Switch when it comes to Prime 4? I can't even."
make it happen.
Do it.
That'd be great.
Dwayne says, do you guys think Capcom will ever remake Resident Evil Code Veronica or Dino Crisis?
Yes. Code Veronica, yes. Yes, I do think Code Veronica will come.
I want Steve Burnside back. Let's do it.
Code Veronica.
God, Steve Burnside.
Hey.
They should have remade Code Veronica before
Just
4.
because he had a squeaky sounding voice.
It's like, hey, let's make $1 billion or let's make 250 million. That's the reason why they picked 4. It was pretty obvious.
They should have done Veronica first. Code Veronica is what the fans.
You don't work in the corporate world, Nate. That's an easy
that
choice
game
right
needs
there.
it though. That game needs the remake.
It does, but if you're an executive, what are you gonna pick? Code Veronica or Resident Evil 4? You're gonna go with 4.
Yeah, especially if you just finish up 3. They're like, let's just go with 4.
Yeah. But you want to give people a little more Claire Redfield, and you have to get Wesker back in.
I love Claire Redfield. I love all the Resident Evil games, but I mean, the choice is 4 first. Obviously, the choice is 4.
I don't know if you'll ever do. When do you do Code Veronica then?
After you do it, you get M2's bum asses to do Veronica instead. They got moved off of it's Capcom 1 now on Resident Evil 4. It'll be like the game will be an hour long. It'll still be good. It'll be like an hour, and then bam, there you go, Code Veronica.
There you go.
Still a lot of Steve Burnside.
Rascal says, was thinking, what if Platinum's other project was a Bayonetta anime by the studio who does Castlevania anime?
Sure.
That might be too big of a project, even. The way they were talking about it, it sounded like it was going to be a bonus, quote unquote. So I really feel like it's going to be something fairly small. That would be kind of cool. Blitz says PS5 versus Xbox Series X, which is better at right now / will win in 2021.
What?
I mean,
we kind of went over that. I think the PS5 will sell more. I don't think
yeah. I think they're both kind of lacking features. As somebody with a big PlayStation 4 back catalog, I like my PlayStation 5. The no load times is nice.
Yeah. Picked up this week an Asus ROG Crosshair 8 Hero Dark, 2 terabytes, 7,000 megabyte read speed M2, and 64 gigabytes of RAM. Just got to find a Ryzen 9 and 3080. Good luck with that. I hate scalpers. Yes, I went to Micro Center at one point looking for 3080, and they just kind of laughed. And
I was just randomly looking for 3080s like the other day to see if there's any, retailers that have them. Nope, still can't get them.
Isn't it? Yeah, that's crazy. Venicera, I'll be able to get it when the 4080 comes out.
When the 3080 Ti will get announced, and then maybe you can get a 3080.
Here's hoping. Venicera says, thank you all for 200. Here's to another 200. You are the best. El Murra says, propose already, hashtag. And I think that's everything there. How about MVG, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and on YouTube at Modern Vintage Gamer. I have a video coming out on Monday about the NES.
Ooh.
So check it out. And thanks for having me, and happy 200.
I will check that out. What about OJ? Where can they find you?
Yeah, right here on YouTube, Player Essence. I stream daily, cover Nintendo, JRPG content. So yeah, check it out.
And let's see, we got Nate. Nate, where can they find you?
They can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate, or on Twitter at Nate the Hate followed by the number 2, or at Direct Feed Games. Got some gameplay of RE-verse. If you want to see a really bad Resident Evil multiplayer game, you can check out some of the footage up there.
I'll look at that.
Yeah, you should. Next week, Nate the Hate, MVG, and myself will have a podcast on a surprising, shocking topic. So people will want to check that out.
Mm-hmm. All right. What are we doing again?
You know.
Ross says, congrats on the 200th episode. Love you guys. Is it on Metal Gear Solid, Nate?
Maybe.
Well, that would be a solid discussion. It is not.
Okay. And then Jordan, where can they find you?
You need to be silent.
Okay.
On the hill.
Hi, you could find me on Twitter as Jordan Fringe.
And that concludes today's 200th episode of Spawncast. You can find us here next week. Same time, same place. We'd like to thank everyone who has been along with this journey with us for the last 200 weeks. Thank you for your patronage. And to everyone who donated tonight, we appreciate your generosity. You can find John on Spawn Wave. And until next week, have fun.
Diamond hands.
Diamond hands.
Just forget Evan.